Heyo, welcome to Earth-1 and Earth-2's Jess talking Superman. I'm Omnidog, joined by Earth-1 Jess and hashtag friend of Jess. He's got both of us. And how are you doing, Ash?
I am good.
Do you have to pick something up?
Yes, my dog just knocked over a table.
I was like, I heard an animal, I feel like.
Oh, I thought I heard a cat. Okay.
You probably heard both. It's a zoo around here. It's a zoo.
Good.
Love that.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Behind your head, did I see Superman War World?
You
Is
did.
that the Omnidog?
Yeah.
Oh, it's here? You know, I asked on the last show and did not write down or retain when anyone said it was coming out.
There it is.
Ooh.
Beautiful. Yeah. I think I will get that. I need to get that.
But does that have the authority stuff that was not?
Does.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I checked it. I checked it.
41 through 4.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I wonder if it's mapped properly. It should come second, or should come second in the book. That's how we reviewed it with. Oh, thank you, upper management.
Yes.
Appreciate. Oh, and a Superman glass. Perfect. You're a wonderful woman. Yeah. Now go away so we can talk about you. Okay. Yeah, I need to get that because we loved that story, right, Jessica?
We did, yeah. And once I figured out the right reading order, I loved it. Yes.
With Superman and the Authority.
So a little disconnected before I figured out the right reading order. Yeah. No, it was very good. The kind of compendium-esque collection that didn't have some of that is still a solid collection. Like I kept it and I was like, I'm going to upgrade, and I am. But it's a good one to give someone. I might give that to Maddie or somebody like that to check out some of those stories.
Good. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we are going to be talking about Superman, the City of Tomorrow. But first, I need to talk about name change for organic priced books, OPB. They have changed their name to Panel Bound Comics. It's still the same website. It's still the same deals. It's just you type in Panel Bound Comics and it'll take you to the old OPB. My codes are the same, and the experience should be the same. Omnidog Sit gets 5% off. And yes, I use my own code. So everybody just go right to Panel Bound Comics and tell them Omnidog sent you. And then they'll add 10% to your order. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that kind of power.
Adding 10% to the order would be like a very bad power to have. It's like villain behavior. This is your tax for being an Omnidog viewer.
A viewer, yeah. Let's see. We've got people here. Pittyma. Hey all. Yeah, it's gonna be a super stream. I have Taylor Talks Comics tonight at 8. Munin, Guten Avond, Belgian Ellen's here. Welcome. Is that one or two cats?
Just two.
Yeah. James is here, of course. James made the thumbnail. He sent me the image and then upper management filled it in. Thank you, James. Munin's excited. Yay, early stream. Chris Brogan, friend of the channel. Welcome. Dog love, yeah. Hey, CNSF. Good to see you. Tyler, I see a lot of love for that book now, but I don't remember really anyone talking about it when it was coming out. I think, when did we review that? Like
I was
June?
wondering. It was like a year ago because I remember when we looked it up. It was over a year ago.
Oh,
no, that was a while ago because we were like, that's months from now.
When the omnibus was going to come out.
Yeah, because we were like, that's almost a year away. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tyler, we were talking about it a year ago. We loved it, and
before anyone else was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is where you want to come to get the early opinions. Oh, Heroing 2.0. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, y'all. Hope you guys are doing good today. We are. I checked ahead of time. 2 of our 4 cats.
Oh.
Nice. Okay. So, Superman City of Tomorrow. It's a book. Fine. Great. Now we can talk Superman the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like what order you wanted to. Also, shout out Ash, who last show was like, "It'll be 12 years before I see it," and then it was like I feel like it was less than a week later you texted that you were going to see it, and I was like, "Wow, this is huge."
I did. I made it happen. Yeah, I had a early day afternoon off, and I was like, "Oh, I should go," and I did. Made it happen.
That is great.
Yeah, I had the whole theater to myself, so that was pretty nice.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, it was like 1 in the afternoon. I don't remember, but
During the week.
yeah, it was like midweek.
Yeah.
It was like a Tuesday well, I don't know. I think that the showing was 12:30 showing. It didn't start till like 1 o'clock, but it was a 12:30 because of all the previews, which I was like, yeah, I didn't miss this.
I wish it was the movie trailers, but now they're like half of them are ads too. I'm like, why is a commercial, like a full-on commercial on the big screen? I don't. Deodorant doesn't need like that big of a screen to sell itself. Like that's crazy behavior. It's taking up too much time.
I think with movie theaters hurting still from the pandemic, they've had to pump ads into our previews.
That's frustrating.
I kind of think they're here to stay. Except I don't remember ads at the Alamo for whatever I saw there last.
Here you go, bragging about the Alamo again. You know who else doesn't have regular ads? The Kentucky Theater doesn't have regular ads either. They only play classy trailers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
that place looks cool.
I know.
In the pictures you sent. Wait, what did you just send us? Oh yeah, the wait, where is this from? Florence.
Oh,
Florence, Ohio?
like what? Kentucky.
Oh, but it's near Cincinnati, which is down near the bottom of Ohio, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
It's Northern Kentucky, or NKY.
Okay. I love that the mascot's a water tower. That's awesome.
We were chatting minor league baseball earlier. For those who are just totally confused by the train of thought that just occurred.
I tend to go all different tangents. Thank you, Phenomenal AC. Yes, everybody please hit the like button.
We have one request for movie first, just FYI.
What's that? Yeah, I saw that. Captain Underpants requests the movie first. I think we could talk about City of Tomorrow and then just talk the rest of the show about the movie, but I'm fine with whatever you want to do.
And I'm fine with whatever Ash wants to do.
No, let's do it. A quick little City of Tomorrow, and then we can go on about the movie.
Okay, so where we left off, the baby was really a 13-year-old girl, Lena Luthor.
Oh, right.
And Jess was convinced Lois was having an affair with Lex, and then spent like 2 days trying to find which panel convinced him of that. Now we have some more clues, but I'm still a little confused. I'm not gonna lie about like the timeline of everything.
Yeah, I did find out what I didn't. Did I show you guys? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
You were reaching a little, but it's fine.
It turns out, but yeah, Lois's reaction to Clark and Diana getting snatched by Valhalla to fight a 1,000-year war right in front of her. I was starting to actually, I didn't suspect. Okay, spoiler alert. I didn't suspect she was somebody else until Superman pointed it out. I was like, okay, I've had a woman mad at me before, but it didn't last 6 issues. We figured it out and communicated and resolved it like in 1 issue. So that was a lot of issues for her to be acting snotty towards him, and it wasn't her. It was, you'll have to figure it out if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to spoil it?
Parasite. Who
hasn't been infected by a parasite and therefore is like really grouchy, cranky, like kind of nasty to their partner? Like that happens all the time. I feel like totally normal occurrence.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
I was with you, Jess. At first, I thought it was just how they were going to play it. I didn't realize that she was someone else at first. And then she just kept getting like more and more off, like different than Lois and like too exaggerated. And I was like, okay, finally. Then the
Okay,
reveal
good.
happened.
I'm glad that it wasn't the only one.
Yeah, for the initial part, I was like, okay, they're just going to make her mad at him, I guess. But yeah.
When she was like drawing money and accepting money, I was getting really confused. Like it really added to it because, to be honest with you, maybe I have distrust of some writers just in general. I'm not calling anyone specifically out, just in general. Sometimes characters are written like super out of character, frankly.
Right.
And so I'm like, maybe, but yeah, when it started being like screaming almost, I was like, this is kind of a lot. I think something else might be going on.
Oh.
The small jealousy, I feel like I have read another storyline where something like that happened because, frankly, and we talked about this last show, like there are things that Diana can understand better about Kal-El, about Clark, that like Lois just cannot fully comprehend. That doesn't mean that you would be dating one or the other. It's just that happens with people. Like you just have different things in common, different experiences, and obviously like not being from here is a huge one, and being like so overpowered. So it makes sense that you might be a little like jealous that they're bonding over something like that. But this was like really crazy.
Yeah, I was concerned when she got all dolled up and went out for
her affair.
Yeah.
As I was reading it, I was like, Jess was right. What is this?
Oh, how dare you? So I actually dug pretty much all of it. What I struggled the most with the art, and I know that the artists today are much better than they were 30 years ago, because this has some of the top artists around, like Ed McGuinness and let's see who else. Ed McGuinness, yeah. Ed McGuinness did that. Stuart Immonen did a couple issues.
Yeah.
And it just has that 90s feel to it.
Like house art, like 90s house art kind of style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of the problem too is like Ed McGuinness has his style and it's so like cartoony and raw, and to go from that to then the next one, which was more like less of a stylized than McGuinness, that was like it kind of took you out, I think, a little bit because it was such a strong contrast between the artists. I found anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I look on the back of this and it's 4 different series. Is this a Triangle yearbook?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, it's like towards the end of the Triangle years, like at the very end, because I think as it goes further in this run or this era, the triangles drop off. So I think it's this weird part where it's at the very end of the actual Triangle years and they still have the triangles like numbered that way and you can follow it that way. But then as it continues, they drop off, I think.
Yeah, something I kept wondering, last time after we talked about the first book, I think all of us felt like it was a little bit disconnected. There were a lot of like puzzle pieces spilled out on the board. And I will say this tied a lot together, as Ash promised, because she had read ahead. But a thought I kept having reading this time was like, I feel like still there's so much space between plot points. Like you'd have something with Lex where you're starting to see where he's going with the City of Tomorrow stuff, and you'd get like 3 or 4 issues. There's nothing really about that. Then you get another tiny thing, and all the storylines for the most part felt like that to me. And I couldn't tell if it would have felt more or less disconnected if I'm reading it as a whole, like I am now. I'm able to binge through it. If I'm waiting to collect not just issue by issue, but actually like it's like comic by comic because it's multiple books that are comprising this fuller story. I don't know which would have felt more uneven, but that is something that still continued as a feeling for me. Was it's more cohesive than part one for sure, and some of the storylines gain traction like in a 3-issue spurt or whatever that's very satisfying. But I still felt like, especially the Lex stuff, was so in the background, then in your face, then in the background for forever and back in your face. And I don't know. I wonder what the experience would have been like reading it as it went and like talking about it maybe as it went to theorize together, or if I'm getting the really truly the best experience because I'm able to binge through, but it still feels like not as cohesive as I want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think so.
Ash, what'd she say?
All right. Anyways, it was good seeing y'all. Have a good day.
Y'all. Supervillains need love too. Why can't Lex Luthor have an affair? Not with Lois. I mean, with Parasite she can, but he can. Here's Jewish Dragons. What up, buddy? Got his own logo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like it. What was it, Stitch before?
Oh, was it Stitch?
I think so.
And I don't know if I told you, but he has a T-shirt that he wears at cons that says Jewish Dragons.
Very
so
cool.
You know where he is. You can find him right away.
It's really important to be on brand in 2025. It's a saturated market, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I hung out with him a lot at HeroesCon. He's a great guy.
Nice.
I liked this one character that was introduced, and I don't know that we ever see her again, but I thought her design was really interesting, and that's Luna, the head of the cyber moths.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool. That underwater villainess, I don't know, anti-hero was really cool, and then almost never there again, because there's that issue in Smallville where, again, this very rarely comes back up later in the story, but Lana and Pete have gone over a bridge. Clark's home, he rescues them, but when he's trying to get Pete out of the water, there's that cool underwater siren lady who was killed by a bunch of evil men, and now her job is to like trap and kill people who harm the innocent. And I was like, this is a great character, so interesting, cool design, just like the cyber moth. Bear doesn't really come back. So disappointing.
Yeah, I wanted to know what Pete Ross had to do with that.
I still don't know. I was hoping you are much closer readers, both of you. And I was like, somebody tell me what Pete was hiding, because I'm confused. Yeah. All I knew was he was fighting for some kind of legislation. His relationship with Lana was on the rocks. And then what? I don't know. That doesn't mean you're harming innocents.
I think it can only be like something that comes up later.
But that's wild, because that happened at the beginning of this.
I don't remember anything looping back to it in this, like what we read. So
exactly.
It has to be a drop off of something, like they're dropping the hint now to like come back to it.
I just like, she looks really well designed, and I like the way she's drawn.
Yeah, she was cool. And the moths were cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks, it's a really good design. I like her different facial color and the lines running on her, whatever she's up to. I wish we could see her again. I don't know that we will ever, but that's one person I thought was cool. Even though she was evil, she was cool. Funny evil. Yeah.
Fictional evil people can be interesting for sure.
Unlike the prankster, who's an idiot and doesn't seem to have any real purpose.
He's come up so often, I feel like, for us on the random stuff we've covered. I feel like it's like the third time. I think he's an old friend of ours at this point. I think we should embrace him more when he comes up.
The Toy Man and the Prankster.
I love Toy Man.
I remember reading them sometimes in the Golden Age. The Superman, they were 100 pages for 50 cents, and they'd have old Golden Age stuff, and that isn't where I saw Mr. Mixapliclick first, but I loved the version that I saw of him, and then the early versions of Toy Man and Prankster were funny. So yeah, Prankster, he is like an old friend. That is funny. So what
how did you guys feel about the Magic School Bus vibes?
I loved it, but I also, maybe you guys could explain this to me. All right, so Clark's feeling, he's having a cough and turning green. Never a good sign. I mean, Ash, you're a medical professional. Would you say those are bad signs?
Those are bad signs.
And so they like microscopically, they literally, the whole gang, like at the time, Steel, obviously, and their Supergirl, Superboy, they're like shrunk and trying to investigate what's going on and fight from the inside. But here's my question. Did I miss, how did they get in? Like, did they go through his nostril? Because he's like impenetrable. Like, where did we miss that? And if it was a weird explanation, you don't have to tell me on air, but surely not. They probably went through his nose, right?
Yeah, I'm right here. Let's see. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They take a
I read
ship.
this like months ago, so I.
Yeah, that's been a while for you. But I just couldn't. Suddenly we were in his body, and I was like, how did we get here? It's fun, but how?
Yeah, the little ship goes in there. Let's see. It doesn't really tell you. First there's the ship, and then they're in him, and I guess, and there's the they don't see. Oh wait, I think they went in through his mouth.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
See that?
Yeah, okay.
Open mouth. That's what I think. I think they went in that way.
All right, I'll accept that.
The nostrils a good way to infiltrate too.
Yeah. I did like that though. I thought that was fun. Was it Captain Atom also in the beginning of that too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he provided the way for them to go in.
Yeah.
Low key, Captain Atom and Miss Frizzle could make like a pretty good couple. They both love science. They love shrinking themselves. Like, that's not a bad pairing, actually.
Miss Frizzle. Kelly and I watched that all the time. We had a dance we would do and just yell out, "Roll on a magic school bus." So I know the reference.
Love her. There were so many significant gingers in my life as a youth. I just have such a soft spot for them. Miss Frizzle was one of them for sure.
Yeah, that's funny that he called it Magic School Bus, Ash. At first I was like, wait, what is that?
Yeah.
You don't remember that crossover issue? That wasn't
here's Carl from what up, Carl? Hey. Thanks for being here.
Wait, what was that picture of? The icon.
Is that Nightmare and no, I don't know.
No, I don't know. Carl, tell us.
I recognize that guy.
Me too. It looks familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah, but the hat's kind of throwing me off. I always thought it was from Nightmare on Elm Street, but I've only seen one of those, so.
I think I've seen 3, but they're not my favorite. This is so petty, but he always makes that chalkboard noise in the dream, and that like causes my skin to like have goosebumps, and I have to turn the movie off right away. Don't like it.
Bob the Goon from Batman. Batman. Which Batman? The Batman, the Battinson Bat guy, Michael Keaton. Wait.
89.
89. Okay.
Oh, gee.
Thank you. Bob the Goon. If I don't recognize him, that's a problem. I need to watch that movie again.
I feel like I watched the second one, where it was Batman Returns, right? More than that first one. I feel like when I rewatch, because it's got like a Christmassy vibe, Batman Returns. And I love a holiday themed anything.
That's right. You need a Hallmark movie with Batman in it.
Okay, shout out. Let's talk about one of the best scenes, I thought, in this run, which is when Lois was being spiteful. Her way of being spiteful was using a Batman mug, which I thought was high-key hilarious trolling of your partner. I loved that.
I didn't pick up on it.
I like that too. Yeah.
That was wonderful. Loved that level of petty. Love it. I aspire to that level of petty.
I didn't pick up on that. I'm trying to find it.
There
Oh,
were
this
two.
is-
There was that mug, and then not spiteful, but there's like Clark had like a super husband one. Ash knows I collect mugs, so I'm like always. Anytime anyone's drinking out of anything in a comic book, I always want to know what it says. What's the mug?
Yeah, that's fair. I understand. Now I'm spending my time looking for her mug. Do 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 do
Jess
do.
is definitely right. They went in through the mouth because it's
Okay.
I define.
Wider clearance. No, I had fun with that, and I liked the art of those. He basically had like a nanobot virus that Jess's girlfriend gave him, and what's her name?
Enchantadora.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Luna.
always want to call her Esmeralda. I have no clue where that comes from.
This
I
is
like it,
Luna we're talking about.
No, no.
I mean, because what that happened in like issue 2 of this
Yeah.
run, and now like full circle to come back to.
Okay, wait. Who gave
Hold
it to
on.
him?
I need a moment because Jess has clearly forgotten his first girlfriend, and now he's dating the cyber moth and doesn't care at all. You've just totally abandoned. What kind of loyalty is this? You don't
Bad
remember
loyalty. Who are we?
loving Encantadora last time we talked?
Yeah,
and you were like, I hope she comes back. And here we're
Yeah.
describing her significant plot, and you've already forgotten her. A woman scorned.
Yeah, I don't need her coming at me. She's in prison stuff.
But I liked the art of those like glowing orbs that were like sucking all the energy from him in his stomach. That was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, she was an incredible Catwoman. She's an incredible actor. Whoa, Elemis, you haven't seen Batman 89? Oh, Batman.
Is that a Xena? Ooh, okay. Love it.
Wow, good pickup.
Oh, I know Xena anywhere. This is like one of my favorite childhood shows.
Oh, Doc Elevator, Joker tells Bob, you're my number one guy. Okay.
Oh,
Carl
clearly
said,
I gotta
"I'm his number
rewatch.
one guy." Okay. I just saw a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer. If you can just pardon me, the two women on the screen here with me as I get.
It is so dangerous when you start a sentence like this. Every time I get physically anxious, I'm like, I have no clue what this man is about to say.
That's come out of his mouth.
I'll be right back.
Michelle Pfeiffer is like close to my age, and she looks just as good. And I know plastic surgery, and she hasn't had anything done, so she hit the lottery in the gene pool, I guess.
Okay,
that wasn't that bad, was it?
No, you did a great job. But I have to brace myself. Just, you don't know. I don't know what you were going to say.
I put myself in as Earth-1, Jess. Oh my
God, twinning. I didn't even catch that.
Okay.
You wanted to be like me. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there's the Batman mug. And it's in multiple panels.
Oh, good reading. I think you read better than I do. Is she drinking from it? Then you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like ignoring Clark. He's like trying to whatever in the morning, and she's like, no. I can't tell you any of the science plot points, but I can tell you what mug they were.
Any woman looks at you like that. No,
that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Yeah. Okay, I said it. Xena is my childhood with X-Men animated series.
Elemis, same. Also, my ringtone is still the X-Men the animated series theme song. Love.
That's awesome. Xena Warrior Princess 30th anniversary is coming up on September 4th.
I really want them to do more continuations of the comic series, because some of those runs were actually, the newer runs were pretty good. So I need that to come back. I think it was Dynamite. I don't even remember. Dynamite or Dark Horse. One of the two.
Yeah, it could be either.
James will tell us in just a second.
James.
We'll know.
Yeah, good point.
Put money on it. I'd say Dynamite.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, and then honestly, it may have been two different, because they did comics while the show was on, and then shortly after as a continuation, and then they've went through like 3 or 4 different cycles since then.
Yeah.
William Lee, good afternoon, y'all. Loved Hercules and Xena growing up. And Belgian
It's
Ellen.
where I learned all my mythology.
It's her ringtone too, Belgian Ellen's.
Oh wow.
Wild. The audience today has such good taste. Quality. Dynamite.
Yeah. Dynamite was after. Too bad. Hercules is a terrible person now. Xena, Hercules, X-Men. Yeah, that was my childhood as well. I think it was on X that my daughter sent me, Twitter. She sent me a picture of this guy getting inducted into ICE and getting a uniform and all this stuff. He works for ICE now. And I said, who is this? I don't recognize this person. And then she sent me another picture of the guy coming out of the ICE office or whatever. And it was Dean Cain, who must weigh 300 pounds now. And they said the caption was something like, perfect job for Dean Cain because nobody recognizes him. And I was like, that's Dean Cain?
Good burn, though. Yeah, I saw that news story and then I decided to move on with my life and not give him too much energy.
Yeah, but I always think of him as, young and muscular and thin, and he's...
Yeah, I loved that show.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
Same.
It was good. And I have the DVDs. I haven't rewatched them in a while. But, I got to perpetually be rewatching Smallville so that I can tease Jess.
Well, are you excited? I don't know if we've talked about it. Are you excited for the new reboot of Buffy?
Oh,
Have we talked about that? Okay.
We haven't. I think one time we did. Oh no, that wasn't you. I think that might have been on another show. We were talking about how the Audible, like the audiobook company, did a revamp story of Buffy, and it was pretty good. So yeah, I have high hopes actually for the continuation TV show. If Sarah Michelle Gellar is involved, which I think she is highly involved, like that's a good sign to me. But I love Buffy for sure.
Wait, was it you, Ash, that said you grew up with... It wasn't Ash, was it? It was somebody else that said, no, that was a different guest that Omar had on. And I remember it now. He said, thanks for being on the show. She said, oh, it's great. I grew up with NMC, near mint condition. And he was like destroyed over that she grew up with NMC. Yeah, it was a different person.
Oh, it's funny.
So City of Tomorrow, did we like it enough that we're going to keep it, or are we giving it away to charity?
Well, I read it online, so I'm not.
No, and she read it on the iPad.
The question,
I'm the fool here that bought the book.
I liked it more than the first. I was trying to remember what I gave the first. It was like 3.25 or 3.5. 3.5?
No, 4.25.
I didn't give it a 4.25. I know because I was on Fable trying to remember what I gave it, and it was like a 3 something.
James. Need some backup here.
I think it was like a 3.5. And honestly, like, I liked this better, but I was more disappointed because it's like the ending. And I still felt like, especially not to be like whatever and keep talking about this, but the Lex stuff and the theme of like the City of Tomorrow only really came through for me in that Clark had that nanobot virus, which was like tech related. But like the Lena stuff, the Brainiac stuff, the Lex stuff just kind of goes away. I told Ash before we got on, she was trying to be reminded of where the story started. And I was looking at my notes and I said, I was confused because I started reading it and I know I read part 1 and part 2 as they're collected because I read like the Ultra version or whatever online. And I picked it up and I'm like, did I miss some issues? Because it felt like we just skipped over some things. So it had farther to fall because I think there were higher expectations. But I still had a good time. And we didn't talk about it, but I do want to shout out the early Smallville issues where he's visiting Ma and Pa Kent. I loved. I have a real soft spot for these 2 scenes. One was when he was talking to Lana and talking about how like they were talking about farming, and he was talking about how he was worried because she's talking about how great he is, and how even though he's from somewhere else, I wrote it down, like he's been blessed with great power. She loves him because he doesn't have ulterior motives or a personal agenda. He just wants to do the right thing. And then he still has a complex because when they're talking about the theme of farming, he's like, yeah, but like as a farmer, I know that when something alien gets introduced to the environment, like it doesn't matter whether it has good or bad intentions, it can hurt the crop. And it was like such a pure moment of like your childhood friend getting to talk about like the deepest like sore spots, you know, for you. Cause like I always feel like for my childhood friends, they've seen me at my most vulnerable, like middle school days type vibe.
Mm.
And so you can get to that place with them. And I really loved that scene a lot. And I also loved the issue where he was talking to his dad about sunrises and relationships and the big picture and starting fresh. That was really good. So those were really the highlights for me. So there's a lot of stretches that I thought were really, really good, like 4-star stretches. But the totality, I'm still at like a 3.5, maybe 3.75. I think I gave it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I was close. So I'd probably downgrade part 1 to 3.5 and call this a 3.75. I think is where I'm at.
I think I agree with
Out of
that.
5.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think I'd probably go higher. I'd probably give it like a 4.25. I think just the cohesiveness of it, and I'm not sure. I mean, I guess this is the end of it, but
There has to be more.
I think there's more,
Yeah.
and so I think that's part of why I can keep it higher, because I think if we kept reading, I think more of the City Tomorrow stuff with Lex and how he, you know, sold his soul, or however you want to describe it, you know, and
yeah, we didn't talk about how he's running for president. That's like the start of a story, not the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot this was where that all started.
All starts, yeah. But I think more has to come about that. So I don't feel like, to me, I think thinking about that, it doesn't just drop off and I don't feel like we're left. I think we just, that throughout this whole thing, I feel like we've been dropped things and then we come back to it way later, and then drop it and then come back to it. So I think there has to be more there. And I just really liked, like you said, Jess, I really liked the Smallville issues, and it just felt much more cohesive here with getting everybody involved. And so I enjoyed it. The art, not so much, because I enjoyed the art was fine, but just how it differed so much from issue to issue, that I didn't like.
Yeah, same. Safar, welcome. Jess, did you see the movie finally? Are we talking about Superman? I haven't
We're
seen
talking about
Fantastic
Freakier
Four.
Friday, obviously.
Freakier Friday.
Get real. And the answer is yes. As a Jess, I did see Freakier Friday last weekend.
Oh, you did?
For asking. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it, Safar, and that's we're going to be reviewing it in about 30 seconds. Is Freakier Friday as funny as Freaky Friday? I thought Freaky Friday was fun.
So there were 3 of us in the theater. Wonder Maddie was one of them. We were all sitting in a row. I was at the end. Wonder Maddie, she's so happy at the end of the movie. She's like, 5 stars. It was hilarious. So much nostalgia. Loved it. Friend in the middle is like, yeah, it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. Da, da, da. I was like so grouchy about it. It was so confusing. I don't want to go into it because it's a whole spiel, but I was confused a lot. And there was a lot of like emotional scenes that didn't work because they weren't believable. But shout out the girl who plays Lindsay Lohan's daughter. Great actress, 100%. Shout out Jamie Lee Curtis, also looking that good at her age. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan getting their bag, getting back together. Love that for them. I had an okay time, but the best was the end, which was the reunion of the girl band Pink Slip, early aughts icons. They played one of their hits, and everyone in our theater was like singing along with it. And that was a truly magical moment. So that saved the movie for me. But no, you can catch it on streaming, which is honestly how the movie should have come out. It's like, it's Disney Plus quality. But if you're a big Chad Michael Murray fan, he looks great in this movie. Really good.
I don't know who that is.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean?
What?
One
Tree Hill?
Oh, One Tree Hill. Okay.
You don't know Chad Michael Murray?
What's the other one? He was in with Hilary Duff.
Oh.
Do you remember that one, Jessica?
Oh yeah. I can't remember what I know
It
exactly
was a
what you're talking
variation of Cinderella or something.
about. A Cinderella Story is what it was called.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I think that's what it was called. He was also in Dawson's Creek for a bit. He was in Gilmore Girls. He played no, not Logan. What was his character in Gilmore Girls?
What was his character in Gilmore Girls?
I can't remember. I'm gonna look this up. Anyways, it's worth catching on streaming, but it's not like don't run to the theater.
Did Lindsay Lohan's daughter, was she involved in the Switch too, or was she just a third observer?
That's what's
why
confusing.
She's such a great actress.
Yeah. No, this is not Lindsay Lohan's real daughter. I want to be clear. Sorry. This is the one who plays the daughter in the movie. Okay. Yeah, so Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan switch bodies with the characters who play. Lindsay Lohan switches bodies with her daughter. And then in the movie, there's like a parent trappy kind of thing going on, reverse parent trap, I don't know, where Lindsay Lohan falls for this single dad who has a daughter who Lindsay Lohan's daughter hates at school. They're like opposites. And they're going to get married like within 6 months and move to London. And it's this whole thing. And so the girls are like, we don't want this. We don't like each other. The one just wants to go back to London with her dad. Lindsay Lohan's daughter wants to stay. She's like, loves surfing. They live in California. She doesn't want to go. You can't surf on the River Thames. It was a whole plot point in the movie. So Jamie Lee Curtis switches bodies with this guy's daughter, which is the part for me that doesn't work. First off, see, now you've got me going on my soapbox, but this is like a British kid.
I love it.
So she has an accent. She switches bodies with Jamie Lee Curtis. So Jamie Lee Curtis uses British phrases or words for things, but talks in an American accent as this kid. And then this kid, who is really Jamie Lee Curtis, because Jamie Lee Curtis is now in this kid's body, still talks in her British accent. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
This poor kid, sorry, everyone, but a plot point, you know it early on, is her mom has died years ago, but has died. She's like going through it. And at no point early in the movie is Lindsay Lohan trying to bond with this kid, because it's like you just see a dating montage of the parents. But the lesson learned for this girl is like, oh, this family loves me. It's like, do they? I feel like this girl barely tolerates you, Lindsay Lohan's daughter. Like, you guys have buddied up now, but you're not like sisters. Like, you're not totally bonded. And I've not seen Lindsay Lohan try to bond with you once. And all of this emotional weight of like, my dead mom, blah, 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 is being delivered in Jamie Lee Curtis's body. It just does not.
Oh, that
work.
Is kind of weird.
I didn't mean to tear in a Freakier Friday. If you loved it, I love that for you. Maddie loved it. She had a great time. And that's really what matters.
I don't think I'll watch it.
No.
He played Tristan on Gilmore Girls.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He was like a early aughts heartthrob. You just missed it, Jess.
I must have. Early aughts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't even, what was I doing in the early aughts?
Worrying
about my daughter.
Junior management knows Chad Michael Murray for sure. No way she doesn't.
I'll text her and see.
Text her.
Oh, thank you.
Glad to hear you're talking about junior instead of senior.
I can bring you up.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll bring you up. The chat loves you. Everybody loves you. They love you more than they love me.
Ask Patty if she knows who Chad Michael Murray is. Let's just see the range.
Hey, hey, Patty. Do you know an actor named Chad Michael Murray?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the actor Chad Michael Murray?
I know the name, but I can't bring up his face.
That's good enough.
Name?
Okay.
I like it.
Huh.
Yeah, I may be making that up.
I think you're making that up. She thinks she knows the name, but I don't think she really knows the name.
Well, all right. We know the ceiling now. We'll see where
Yeah.
junior management falls.
Let's see what junior management.
Oh, Pity Ma, you're so welcome. I hope if you want to see Freakier Friday, you still have lots that goes off the rails that I did not even start to touch on. And I hope you have a great time. Tristan.
Okay. Let's see. You should see F4 before it leaves theaters. I do want to see that. Maybe I can see it this week.
Did you see it, Jessica?
No,
That was a
Maddie
sigh.
told me she. So when we saw Freakier Friday, which, listen, I do want to apologize for the chat. It's crazy behavior to see Freakier Friday before Fantastic Four. But that's just how it. That's how the cookie crumbled. But we saw this cutout, and Maddie had seen Fantastic Four already, and she was like, she said to her it felt a little flat, emotionally flat, and like just didn't reach the highs. But she also, like me, doesn't read a lot of Fantastic Four. So I think I actually had an opportunity to see it later, but I was like, maybe I'll wait. What I do want to see in theaters is Weapons, which is by the guy who created Barbarian. I was going to text you about it, Jess. I'm trying to psych myself up to see it this afternoon. All of my friends have either seen it and can't go this weekend or are too afraid to go. So I think I'm going to have to go by myself, and I'm a little nervous about it. But I really want to see it before I get spoiled, because Barbarian was such a wild ride.
Is that?
I feel like I'm going to get spoiled. I won't be seeing Fantastic Four in theaters, so I'll have to wait.
I've read nothing but great things about Weapons. I think I read that it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. James, is that true? But I've heard that it's just great, and I think I can deal. Barbarian, as they say, lives rent free in my head. There's not a day that I don't think about Barbarian.
As it should be. It's a great movie.
And it flips me out. Yeah, that's like one of the most horrifying movies. God. But I feel like Weapons is a different kind of horror, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've heard it's still a wild ride and still has some of the humor Barbarian had, because Barbarian was like kind of funny too. Like at times, I felt like it was a real.
When was it funny? What?
I thought so. People thought Anora was funny, and we already talked about this.
Yeah, wow.
But here's the thing: I get a little scared about creepy children. I love children in real life. Love them. 10 out of 10. I love them. But kids in horror movies, like, a little scary. So that's why I'm scared of Weapons, because the kids look scary in the trailer. And that freaks me out. I'm worried I won't be able to sleep at night. Nothing that was shown in Barbarian, like, I'm a woman. A lot of the horrors that they showed in Barbarian, I was like, I already know about them. Lived some of them. Terrible. But Weapons, those kids are creepy.
Oh, I don't like bad seed type of situations like the Babadook. That kid was a good actor because he was annoying as F. So I don't like. I don't. Yeah, I get it. I don't like possessed kids or demon seed kids.
That's how they look in one of the trailers. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, good. I'd like to hear how it is.
I'll keep you posted.
I'm gonna have to. I don't have a movie buddy for horror movies. Yeah, I just saw Spinal Tap, the original movie, with my movie buddy and her husband and upper management, and I still loved it. But I feel like the other three were kind of missing the humor. But I loved it. Oh, there's Matt H. What up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, okay. This is what you're saying. Earth-1, Jess, thank you for the breakdown. LOL, we are off the rails. I expect nothing less from this show. Yes, she has made an appearance. Yeah, I don't recognize One Tree Hill. I only know the guy from what's his? I can't think of his name. He was in a show that didn't last more than a season, which is too bad because it was great.
What was it about?
The show was the actress who played Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter.
You're talking about James Vanderbeek in the Bee in Apartment 23 or whatever?
Right. Yeah, that's the only way I know him.
What such a deep cut. That was a deep cut, Jess.
Yeah, and you picked up on it.
Well,
yeah.
because I was trying to think of 90s, 2000s, because he's Dawson in Dawson's Creek, aka the
Okay.
worst character in Dawson's Creek.
He is?
He is. He seems like a great guy in real life. I'm not trying to whatever, but his character is like really petty and very annoying. Everyone who watches knows no one's favorite is Dawson. I've never met a single person who's like Team Dawson. Not a soul.
Yeah, I like that show. But I don't even think it made it a season. Maybe only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I've heard great things. I've actually never seen it.
I wish it had gone longer because all the characters were really funny, especially James Vanderbeek. Oh, here it goes. Weapons 94%. That's still pretty high.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Have you seen it, James? Put your spoiler-free review in the chat if you have, James.
She does. She's cultured. F4 leaves theaters this coming week for me. I better check. I also need to try and see it. Stay away from horror. Dawson is the worst.
It's like, it's a truth universally acknowledged. That's actually what Jane Austen was talking about at the start of Pride and Prejudice. Is how terrible Dawson Leary is. He does grow as a person, but it's like, it's too little too late, like, at this point. I'm in, like, season 3 of my rewatch, and he's just so insufferable as a character. It's awful.
So speaking of movies...
Yeah.
And for everybody watching, there's no way we can do this without spoiling it. So first of all, why haven't you seen Superman? Because I loved it so much that it's now in my top 5 all time. And I've only seen it once. I've seen everything else on my top 5 a billion times, but I'm going to get the 4K and watch it a billion times.
Yeah, I saw it's coming to streaming soon. Like, I guess so people can catch up for season 2 of Peacemaker, because some of the characters will be in that.
That's what I heard, that he wove Peacemaker into this universe, which is awesome. That only makes sense because Peacemaker's shown in the show. I think that's when they were talking trash about Superman because of his parents' message. How much? Do you know how much it is, James? And Phenomenal AC, how much is it to? 2 seasons, 26 episodes. What the what?
Let's be real though. If you missed the 2nd season, when are you really going to get to it? Aren't you behind like 7,000 recommendations?
Yes. I have a whole list that I'm behind on.
Freddie is going to watch this. I don't know. Maybe he's here live, not saying anything. Maybe he watches it on replay and he's like, you better not. I have a whole list of things you're supposed to get to first.
Like 5 years ago, I was supposed to watch the 3rd season of Legion, which is what he always bugs me about. And I only have like 4 episodes left, so I really should see it. Oh, okay. It's $30. Is that the rental or the buy it price?
Yeah, that's
probably to buy.
Has to be to buy.
Yeah, that sounds pricey to me, but it is video on demand, so weeks ago I made the mistake of referencing the harem gag here. Rent $25 to buy plus extras. Okay.
Who would rent for only $5 less? Just buy it at that point.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I know. Go ahead.
I said it's the tariffs.
It is, extra cost for extra fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the Blu-ray for sure.
Yeah. They must do that so people just buy it. I'm going to have to see that. I definitely want my daughter to see it with me because her best friend is up in Boston going to law school and is in absolute love with this movie.
Oh, I love that.
Kelly hasn't had time to watch it yet. She's going through some things and just hasn't been able to go see a movie. Although she did see Sinners 6 times, but that was a couple months ago.
That's understandable behavior. Even when you're under duress, that makes total sense to me. That's my favorite movie of the year still.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. So I'm going to need to explain some things. And I don't think I am a good explainer because junior management understands me, but upper management, even when I super dumb it down to the, not saying she's dumb, but when I
you're
get
really digging yourself into a hole. Remember earlier when you were like, it only takes me one issue to solve relationship troubles?
Well, yeah, I have 30
You're like
pages.
really digging yourself into like a mini storyline.
I have to make it really simple. I'm not dumbing it down. I have to make it really simple. And then I still think I lose her like halfway through. So I'm going to have to explain how there's no origin, that it's just like right in the middle of and explain what a metahuman is. And
wait, you're saying you're going to have to explain this to
upper management.
Upper management.
No, junior will pick it up right away.
I see.
As soon as I say it.
Okay.
So I know I'm going to, even though it's self-explanatory, I will need to tell her that, or else I know we're going to be pausing as I explain what a metahuman is.
This is a really great point, because I will say one of the things I was super curious about, and I don't know, I guess I would ask either of you if you had friends or family that saw it that aren't really like comic book readers, maybe haven't seen so much Superman, because I had a few that went and saw it, like actually just two I'm thinking that would probably fit into this. But I was so curious when I walked out, like how will these people react? Because I think we can all agree, everyone, that like we don't need another origin story, especially for a character like this that's had so many. But it was very drop you in the middle, never stops, and bops around like kind of like in a lot of different spaces, a lot of different characters, which can work really well, can be confusing though for some people. So I was super curious how people in my life would feel, and both of the people who fit this category were more like mixed. They were like, I really liked that actor who played Superman. I had a pretty good time, but I had a lot of questions afterwards. So I was curious for either of you if you talked to like friends, coworkers, family who saw it but didn't have like that other context, or any other context, I guess.
I'll have to. Kelly does know who that is. He was big in the early 2000s.
Yep.
Kelly's right.
I have
Hill or Dawson's Creek or something.
Yeah, both. He was in both. Go ahead, Ash. Sorry.
Both.
No, just I have the same question, because like I do feel like with the recording, and you get that part, like it's interesting to see if someone who has no kind of reference to Superman, if they could pick up on the fact that he was sent to Earth by his parents. I mean, we don't get the movie clip of it actually happening, but I do feel with the recording and kind of, I mean, it's a plot of the story. Like like his origin is the plot of the story, or the movie, basically, right?
It
so
is,
I do think that you should be able to pick up on the fact that he was get his origin by that, even if it's not shown in the movie itself, like the act is not shown. So I had a question, a curiosity of like, do we only get it because we know, or can the person that has no reference to Superman pick up on that as well? And I feel like it's there, but maybe that's just because I know.
Yeah, no, both of these people I'm thinking of, that wasn't even, you're right, that's the core thing, and I do think they did a good job, just as exactly how you explained it, because my friends did get that. The thing they kept fixating on is like, that random girl with wings, is she important? Why was she there for 5 seconds, then she wasn't there? Or it was things like that that came in and out, and they had fun with the characters. Like, I will say, everyone I know who saw it, actually, regardless if they knew the character or not, thought Mr. Terrific was like a big standout, like a fan crowd favorite, audience favorite. But they still were like confused, like, is he coming back? Who is he? You know what I mean? Like, but also these two are people who maybe like couldn't handle as much fantasy, if that makes any sense. Like, they kind of live a little bit more in more grounded movies. I don't know, but I'm so used to when I don't understand something, even as a comic book reader, when I go into movies, sometimes I'm like, yeah, sure, that happened. It's just like an attitude I've adopted.
Yeah.
But I was curious how other
You have to
people
read
would
the
feel.
comic.
I probably forgot I read it if it did happen anyways. So,
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of explaining for upper management. So maybe I'll just watch it with Junior.
I'll be curious what she thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a comic book reader at all. To my everlasting shame, I just could not get her into comics. She's plenty nerdy though. She loves Star Wars, or did until episode 9. And
Girl, same.
but no, she's watched Andor and loved that. That's the first thing I'm going to finish is all of Andor. But yeah, my wife and daughter definitely do. I don't know if my wife even knows that Superman was sent from Krypton.
I think you should just have Patty and Junior watch it and preface it with like no questions until the end.
Yeah.
And
Write down your
notes
questions
on their reactions. Like
Yeah,
if Patty
and then
asks a
see
question, write that
how
down
they
for
feel.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're curious to know. I am.
But I don't want them to not enjoy the movie. So if they have questions, it'll set it up better for them. I don't mind stopping in and explaining it. When we watched Oppenheimer together, we paused probably 20 times in that movie. I'm glad we saw it on the TV because it wouldn't have worked in theaters. I know that time period really well because of papers I wrote in college and in high school, but Patty didn't know anything about it. So we stopped and I answered all her questions, and I was happy to do it because it helped her enjoy the movie. So I'm not going to mind pausing for them if it helps them enjoy it. And I
know, but this
never...
is an experiment.
Oh, what?
This is for science.
It's for science, Jess.
This is for Miss Frizzle. Yeah, I think if they ask, but maybe just don't preemptively explain. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is Guy Gardner, XYZ. Maybe see what they ask.
Elon, welcome. Good to see you.
Elon, I haven't seen you in a while.
No, I think he was sick for a while, but he's better now.
That's good. Should we talk about do you want to talk about your overall thoughts, Jess and Ash? I haven't heard them because Jess wanted to save content. He just told me he loved it. That's all he said. And Ash, I sent her multiple voice memos. She's been busy. It's fine. I'm just giving her crap. And then nothing about Superman came through. That's fine. She replied to other things. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what Ash thought too, since we didn't think she was going to get out to see it.
Yeah.
What? I liked it. I don't know. I feel like I am still unsure of how I wholly felt about it because I don't know that I had like I loved it feeling at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot that I really enjoyed about it. So I don't know what that does for you guys.
No, I'm the same.
I think is my overall feeling right now.
I really liked it, but I also did not walk away with the same reactions my friends did. Now, I did cry twice the first time I saw it.
I cried 5 times.
Oh, you got me beat. I did cry once the second time. You cried 0? Heartless. Heartless. When we talk about the scenes we cried at, I will be judging.
The last time I shed tears, the 5th time, it was when the little kid was putting up the flag and kept chanting Superman's name.
That was cute.
I was just like, and I had to open my mouth because if I didn't, my movie buddy would have heard me going. So I had to go, let the tears fall down, and I didn't do the snort cry that I really do.
I love
that. And I'll have to. I think I started crying. Well, I started crying in the trailer when I saw Krypto, because I love Krypto in all of Superman's history. And I liked how they said it. They cut that part, how he really behaves when he gets to Superman, that he starts jumping all over a grievously injured Superman and licking him and playing and jumps and stuff. But I thought the actor Nicholas Hoult was unbelievably great. That is my favorite Lex in all of the Superman movies. Kevin Spacey, Gene Hackman, whatever. Yeah. I didn't like the I know this is going to seem like heresy to everybody that's seen Superman 78, as it's known now, but I did not like and could not take that movie seriously at all, because I never really liked Margot Kidder, rest in peace.
Whoa. That was crazy. I did not know that was coming. I have to
you never know, right? What's coming out of my mouth. And rest in peace, Gene Hackman. I never liked him. It was played too goofy. And I mean, Valerie Perrine was great, but as his gal pal or whatever, but I just never took it seriously. And I understand you have to suspend your disbelief, but Superman 78 just wasn't what I wanted out of a Superman movie. Now I did see it 10 times and I still like to say I enjoy it, but that Lex and that plot, the way it was written, that he knew all of Superman's moves ahead of time and was just calling them out rapid fire. That was brilliant. And then when he created that pocket universe that was going to destroy everything once it collapsed, I thought that was brilliant. And the only question I had, and I guess they couldn't show that, is in the glass jails with nothing below them, where
I know, I saw that.
I knew that was going to happen.
It's just like that's wild. I just didn't know that. Wow.
Oh boy. Yeah, I didn't like that when she said that too. But Superman put it into perspective when he could be all alone and probably scared. So I think that helped. But those glass imprisonment pages for like former girlfriends and stuff, I'm like, how are they going to the bathroom? Where's their food? How long have they been in there?
Those were the questions you had of all the plot points?
I mean, they're valid questions.
I'm like, these don't look very comfortable. Is it because they just got put in there from their perspective and time operates differently in there? So it did lead to that question. Time works differently in there, and that could be the case, that he just puts them there and they don't get time to eat or drink or anything. They just survive for whatever length of time. But and then I love how Lex had the Superman clone that he was fighting, and that he got into the Fortress of Solitude, which I thought was horrendous, by picking up a hair from Superman after one of his battles. I was like, this is the Lex Luthor I've always wanted. This is somebody devious and evil, completely evil, and is only out for himself and not having not playing it goofy. I mean, he played it straight up evil and brilliant, like he's the evil genius. So I really loved that part of Lex.
What did you think about the Nicholas Hoult Lex, Ash?
I think I agree completely what Jess says. I think like how he was written, how he portrayed him, and all of that really got to the core of Lex. And I agree. I think I've always had this image in my head that Lex is older, and so that part is what it is. But everything else, I mean, I thought he did a great job. I just had like, you know, you get a picture in your head, and so my picture is that he's always a little bit older. But I thought that like the script, the writing, the acting, it was all great. And it, you know, I agree with Jess completely on all that.
Thank you. Is this movie called Superman Legacy or just Superman?
I think just
Superman 78.
No, I meant
it's called now?
I meant this current Superman.
Just Superman.
Okay. Time after I saw the title change back to Superman Legacy in my mind. Oh, yeah, I don't. Okay. So, I loved Krypto, everything, and of course, Lex has two completely evil companions or henchmen that overpowered Krypto and Clark. And I think I might have wept when Krypto was consumed by whatever those graphic pencils were or whatever she infected him with.
The whining was like, I almost cried then, like when he has that little whine whimper.
Yeah.
And then, no spoilers, I recalled that the Supergirl movie is based on Woman of Tomorrow and recalled Krypto's plot in that book.
Yeah.
And I am going to struggle if I struggled then, because the first time I cried in this movie, well, first off, I saw it with Maddie, who this was her second time when I saw it. She's like, I cried through the first time. I'll probably be okay. She was crying through the second time too. But the part that broke me was when he's injured and he wakes up Clark wakes up in his childhood bedroom and Krypto's just on his chest. And I just out loud, a gut reaction was like, I love my dog. And then I just started crying. So yeah, I agree. Krypto was like a standout for sure.
Yeah, I cried at that part too. I loved that he felt it pulls a little bit from All Stars. No, the Jeff Loeb and Timothy Sale Superman for all seasons. Yeah, where Superman doesn't feel right, so he has to come back to Smallville to feel better and to sort of lick his wounds. That was really a remarkable part in that Superman for All Seasons. And so I liked when he went back to Smallville and I loved Krypto just sleeping on his chest. That's awesome. I liked Ma and Pa Kent. They were good.
Yeah. I want to say one thing about Ma and Pa. I told Ash this. I don't think I told you, Jess, because I don't think we talked in depth. But I've seen so many adaptations of Ma and Pa Kent, live action, cartoon, whatever. And like Kentucky's not the South or the Midwest, but it's definitely a more rural state, like overall. And my parents are from Ohio, which is definitely the Midwest. And a lot of times when you see depictions of the Midwest or of like farmlands, middle America, it's always depicted as very Americana. Like these people look like models, they're just wearing flannel. You know what I mean? Like their house and their barn is so like could be in a Hallmark movie, but like that's not how it looks here. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Like I have never seen a depiction of Ma and Pa Kent that truly felt like those people live in the Midwest. Like these are just regular people who live down the road from you. They have your whole life, like, or you go to church with them or you see them at the gas station. And their house was similar too. The way the artwork kind of didn't make any sense. It was all mismatched. The frames didn't really match. The paint was like kind of older. Like it felt very like a real place. And it was such a contrast to, and again, not in a negative way, like a contrast to the really shiny, kind of more picturesque cityscapes that they used, which was really, I think, a lot of Cleveland exterior shots, some Cincinnati, shout out. like Metropolis. Like it's such a contrast. Like it really felt like a real place on a real farm. And that really just struck me because I feel like Hollywood doesn't take chances like that in like big budget. They want everything to look glossy, to kind of look perfect even in its imperfectness. And I just really thought that really worked for me because I was like, oh, that feels like people who live in my town or the town next door. And I really liked that depiction of them. It was very thoughtful, and someone on that set is from a more Midwestern or Southern state for sure.
What was it like in the TV show Smallville? What were Ma and Pa
He was
Kent
hot.
like?
Dad was really hot. Pa Kent was what's his name from John Schneider from Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
He aged well. Also aged very well. Ma
good. I
Kent,
like
I'm
it
trying to
when
remember.
you meet me on that level. I appreciate that.
She was beautiful too, and she was, if I remember right, that actress, is it O'Toole? Anne O'Toole, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Was it Annette O'Toole?
Annette? Annette
Oh,
O'Toole? That
you
might be
didn't
right.
tell me she was Ma Kent. I'll watch it just for her.
Okay then. Yeah, right. You say that. I've tried so hard to push this show to you. But she's also like very conventionally attractive. Like if that was someone's mom, you'd be like, yeah, your mom aged well, or something less cringy. Whatever you would say to your friend.
Clark's mom has got it going
Clark's
on.
mom's hot. Stacy's mom.
No, I'm
But
glad
yeah.
you brought that up though, because Jessica, how did you feel? I mean, Smallville's probably like I watched Smallville before I started reading Superman comics, so it
Yeah,
had,
same.
influence on me is probably the greatest from Smallville. And so having the idea of like that as Ma and Pa Kent, and then coming to the movie, how did you feel about that?
It worked for me because, like I said, I think it felt like a real contrast. And I think it especially worked for me because, towards the end of the movie, one of the big, I guess, realizations or full circle moments is his happy place, his calm place, the place that centers him and makes him feel most himself is his memory of Ma and Pa, his like the parents on Earth that raised him. And so to make them appear a bit more grounded, like really made that ending sink in a bit more for me. It's definitely different. And you and I talked a little bit. Like I actually saw in an interview that David, is it Cornsweat? Is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
He grew up a Smallville fan. He like told this story about he wasn't even allowed to really watch TV very much when he was younger, but he would like sneak home in like the hour between when he got home and when his parents got home, he would watch it. And you can tell there's lots of Smallville influence in how his portrayal and even some of the ways a lot of the Metropolis stuff is portrayed. But that Smallville did feel very different. But for me, it worked because it was part of the theme. But what about for you? Was it less so? Was it also a little bit of a bumper and adjustment?
Yeah, I think it was just like a little bit of adjustment, and it just because I think like Pa Kent in Smallville, like
Hot John Schneider.
Yeah, Hot John Schneider is much more like the active part of
Yeah.
I don't know, he's just more like involved in Clark's life. And in the movie, I felt like this Pa Kent was just more like he only came, in those it's an important moment where they're talking outside the house. But otherwise it was all Ma Kent, right? That's calling him and helping him all this stuff. And so I just feel like the portrayal was different. But when you left me the voice memo and like heard your opinion, I was like, I was able to let that go and like liked it a lot better
I'm glad.
for myself. So
I agree with what you're saying though. That's true. And there's advantages and disadvantages because inherently Smallville is about Smallville. So like John Schneider is honestly one of the most important parts, I would say, of the first few seasons. Not just because he's really hot, but because he's like a great dad, he's a great character. But yeah, it's true that like it felt like at the beginning, Clark, I didn't know if we were going to get Smallville, I guess, when the movie started, because it really, you don't see much of it at all till she makes that call home. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's just a cameo. So you're right. I think like the advantage in Smallville is he's in high school. So you see Ma and Pa throughout. Here, we're like we start in a completely different vantage point. And it does feel like they are a little removed from him at the beginning and then suddenly become very important, especially as parallels to the storyline, which I'm sure we'll talk about with his Kryptonian parents. So it's a good point. I think I could see why that would be a bit of a bump for sure.
Oh, Mohammed, good to see you again. Yeah, it has been a while. Glad you're here. Chris brings up a good point. To have Krypto save Superman in a fight took so much guts that I tip my hat to James Gunn. Also, I agree with that. And I also think having his Kryptonian parents, once the full translation of the message got out, I think that that was an important risk to take, because he everything else has shown us that his Kryptonian parents were as altruistic as his Earth parents, and now they turn out to be tyrants, dictators, Uberman instead of Superman. You know, they were made. They were trying to create a race of Supermen, as with his harem and stuff, and I was just like, whoa, that is gutsy to go in that direction. But that set up the great ending that they had with the montage, the photos of his Earth parents.
Yeah.
It is the most. I think it's the most controversial part. So I wanted to hear what you guys thought about that. Actually, sounds like it worked for you, Jess, and you're able to move along.
I was as shocked as Superman was at it. I was just like, whoa, what's happening? I the whole movie worked for me, so I feel like that had to happen to make the public turn on him, and to get leverage on Lex's side. So I'm okay with it. I think it was an interesting change on what they usually have been portrayed. I mean, that was a gutsy thing to do. Uh-oh. No justice for Jor-El.
AKA Bradley Cooper. That was so random. When he came on,
that was a choice.
I was like, Maddie, is that Bradley Cooper? She's like, yeah, go with it.
And who was the woman? Who was Lara?
She looked familiar, but she's not like a significant actress to me. I think she's been in a few things though before. I'm
going to have to look at it now with Bradley Cooper eyes, because I didn't pick up on the fact that was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. It was a choice.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ash, of the message stuff?
I mean, I think you don't get the impact at the end without it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the whole point of the movie goes away if and I think that's important to get to, because I think the movie does a good job of getting to both the core of Lex and the reason he does what he does with his whole montage and all that, and then, or not montage, but spiel. Rant, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Confession.
And the same, you get to the core of who Clark or Kal-El is, and that is really his parents. And so to get there, I think it's I thought it was I didn't mind it. It didn't bug me.
Yeah, I was fine with it too. And what's interesting? I walked out and read people's reactions, and a lot of, like I said, I think that was one of the most controversial plot points for people, or shocking, or risk taking, whatever adjective you want to assign to it, depending on how it worked for you. But when it happened, I guess I wasn't super shocked. What I was thinking about was, I guess I didn't take it as, this is going to sound bad, dictatorial or dictatorial. What do you like? I didn't take it so much as we want you to take over everything. I kind of heard it a little bit through the lens of the scientific Kryptonians, because when we do see Krypton depicted, sometimes they're incredibly cold and unfeeling. There are depictions where they actually are just partnered together. They don't really have any love for one another, and their kid just comes out of a tube. You know what I mean? There's no love or intimacy or anything like that. We've seen lots of depictions of Krypton like that. So I guess I had that in my head. And what I was thinking of is, I don't agree with this personally, but there are people, especially in the science and tech community, who like to try to think that we can intervene to such a degree that like there won't be pain, there won't be sickness, we won't have to deal with these negative things. We'll use science to like rise above that. And you can generously interpret, if you want, their intentions to be just that, like, let's create a utopia so that long term everyone's happy, healthy, and etc. Like, that's kind of how I was taking the message a little bit, is maybe they didn't even mean it in a way that's like, we want you to bring destruction. But it's like, yeah, if you want to create a utopia, you know, do it at any cost, in the sense of like, get rid of these people. But it's so that we can, yeah, live on as these like perfect beings. Obviously, throughout history and in real life, I do not agree with that whatsoever. But I was trying to interpret it from that very alien point of view, which allowed for that contrast to what Clark says back to Lex when Lex is talking about his whole rant and spiel, which is like that being human and those bad days and all of that is the strength that I have. And it's like, that's the opposite of utopia. Leaning into those weaknesses would be the opposite. So I agree it made the ending work, but I did want to say, like, I didn't even take it as harsh, that maybe sounds bad, as other people did. Like, it was a choice, it was a bold move. But I also, especially these days with AI and like the way people talk about science, like, it's kind of scary the way they will portray certain things as a utopia when really they're like eugenics or things like that. But there are those people out there, like, in real life. So it would make sense that Kryptonian alien super species people might genuinely see that that's the right path in a more cold and unfeeling society, which is, again, how I have seen Krypton portrayed lots of times in media. But it was a big choice for sure. And I do think it worked ultimately.
I agree, Jessica. I didn't come at it from a angle where it was coming from like being evil.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
I think I agree with you on where it came from. Not right, but not also to me it didn't make them evil, but it just wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple of comments here. Yeah. Phenomenal. I don't understand the controversy. Burns' Man of Steel literally had Kal-El's mom telling Jor-El that Kal should recreate Krypton on Earth and be the ruler over the inhabitants of Earth. And while I have phenomenal AC right there, he's watching it, Superman with his nephew, and
that was sweet.
My nephew. Why did he save a squirrel? Me, because Superman believes all lives are important and worthy of being saved. My nephew. Is that why you like him? Because he is like you? That you should.
That's cute.
Don't ever forget that moment, Phenomenal AC. That's amazing. I rescue turtles too, like box turtles. I stop my car and rescue them.
Yeah.
I just put them on the side of the road. So, let's see. Wonder if they could have shown that Lex kind of doctored the message instead of showing the message pro tyrants. I don't think the ending has the impact if it's shown that Lex. At first, I thought that is what had happened, that Lex had doctored it, as you say, Safar. But then, as the movie kept going, I realized that it was on the level, and it portrayed Superman's intentions in a completely different light. So I thought it really had an impact that way.
It was crazy how quickly people turned, though. That was one of the moments I kind of had trouble believing. I wish there was like, he went to bed, like people were shocked he went to bed, and then they were able to see in the morning what the news, and then people start spreading rumors, and then it becomes like a mob. Because it felt like truly 2 seconds later, everyone's like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And like throwing trash at his head. I was like, this feels a little unbelievable. That part I didn't really love. Like just how quickly that sequence happened.
I loved the Justice Gang coming in, though.
Yes.
And then Guy Gardner blocking the windows so people would stop looking in. And Nathan Fillion has the perfect expression for Guy Gardner the entire time. Just that sort of like bit on something super sour and just he has the Guy Gardner's mug completely, and it shows how really ridiculous that haircut is. Because it looks dumb in the comics, but boy, it looks much dumber out in real life.
That was another risk worth taking. It worked. I did like that Hawk Girl. I think I told Ash, I saw an interview with the actress who's also in The Last of Us, and is very good in The Last of Us, and apparently filmed season 2 of The Last of Us at the same time, which is wild because she does a lot in season 2 of The Last of Us. So shout out. But she said her inspiration was the Hawk Girl she grew up with, which was the Justice League, the animated show Hawk Girl, who I had a massive crush on as a kid. So I was like, I could tell, because I could tell that's what she was doing, but like a younger, teenier, kind of like teenager version of that character. And it was so spot on. I really loved that. So any animated fans, I feel like, I wonder if they could see that too, because I could see it came through for sure. I like that.
I loved when she had the president of Botswana land or whatever, I forget the name of the country, and said, you can't kill me. Superman would never kill me, or something like that. And she goes, I'm not Superman, or I don't play by the Superman rules, and just drops him right in midair. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. I don't remember the exact
that was a good
dialogue, but it was really great. And the highlight, and I'm pretty sure you guys will agree, to as much as I loved Krypto and everything, the best part of the movie was that it was Lois going to rescue him from the Pocket universe, and Mr. Terrific lets loose outside the portal to the Pocket universe, and just protects Lois and destroys everything coming at him, and then they both go into the Pocket universe to save Superman and Krypto. I loved that it was Lois saving him, and I thought the Lois was perfect. I thought she was. Now I have never seen the marvelous Ms. Maisel, or however you say it.
It's Maisel.
Maisel? Okay, good. I love
that you were making her like French. I don't know.
Maisel. The marvelous Maisel. So I don't know Rachel Brosnahan.
It's a good show. She does a great job in it.
I think she portrayed Lois really perfectly. So especially when she figures out, what is she figures something out in the newsroom, and I can't remember.
Are you talking about the money trail, or are you talking about when Jimmy gets all those pictures and she finds out that clues have been put in the background? Was it one of those?
The money. What was the money trail?
That basically
from Lex to the foreign country.
Yeah, but yes, basically.
I loved finding out about those, what the girlfriend was showing with the pictures. I loved how she was crushing on Jimmy to
all of Metropolis was obsessed with any woman in the Metropolis. Apparently had the hots for Jimmy for no reason. We don't know.
But I thought it was amazing how Lois's brain clicked into place, and she put the two things together about the money trail and that leading to an agreement for Lex to like own the conquered land. So I thought Lois was great, and I loved that she was taught how to use the Terrific Mobile or whatever it was, and I just thought Mr. Terrific was awesome. I loved how the Justice Gang with Metamorpho, which is great to see, took over that war and just went in and Guy creates a shovel and just plows the soldiers away, and Hawk Girl's dropping the president and everything else. That I thought that was great, that the Justice Gang looked so good.
Well, I think one of the fun things about the movie is that you always hear Superman's overpowered all the time. And I think a lot throughout this movie is you're in this world of metahumans and superhumans. And like a perfect example is when Lois and Clark are having that intimate conversation, and outside the window, the Justice Gang is fighting Starro. And like Superman could just go out there and do his but like he just lets them fight because they can handle it. And he doesn't need to always, even though he's overpowered, like he has trust in other individuals and other metahumans to handle business. And same at the end, they go and fight this war for him when she could go and do his thing, but that he sends them because he trusts them. And I think that's a cool thing because Superman can easily handle all this stuff, but he has faith in his teammates and friends to do it. I thought that was a cool thing throughout the movie.
Yeah, sure.
I saw the dumbest take, or I listened to the dumbest take.
Whoa.
And
all opinions are welcome.
Not
peace
this
and
one.
love. Peace and love. Oh, yeah. Like the opinion that you don't like Margot Kidder. Be indifferent at the very least. That's crazy to speak so ill of the dead. Wow. Crazy.
Man, you are an awful person.
It was just wild.
This is a take from a sports broadcaster from New York. And he was complaining about how much Superman was getting the crap kicked out of him throughout the whole movie. And I'm like, that's the point of the movie, is that he's getting overpowered and he still somehow finds a way to defeat Lex. And he doesn't do it alone. He needs his friends. He needs his girlfriend of 3 months, and he needs Mr. Terrific. He needs help, and that's the point of the movie. And that kindness is the new punk rock, which I love. And it was just such a bad take. He utterly missed the point of the movie. He started hating it like 10 minutes in with Superman and Superman does get a beating throughout the whole movie until he finally finds a way to defeat Lex, which I thought was amazing. He can't be, like you were saying, Ash, he can't be so overpowering that he solves all those things, or there's no movie. I thought James Gunn, that's another risk I think he took. He beat the crap out of Superman throughout the whole movie. But there was a reason why. Because Lex had, and I thought that was brilliant that Lex studied him so much. He had counter moves for everything Superman did. And part of me goes, wouldn't it have been cool if Batman were on the ground and figured it out right away and yells up, Clark, he knows your moves. He just figured it out right away. But so I think anybody that doesn't like this movie for that reason just doesn't understand what the story was about.
I had not heard that take, but I mean, when you started with a sports broadcaster, I was like, where are the credentials? I don't know. I thought it was going to be a hot take on the Metropolis Meteors, but that's not how it went. They're like a baseball team or whatever. Yeah, that was interesting. I also liked this Lois, and one thing I think I also probably told Ash in my debrief was something I didn't really consciously sort out in my mind as like a Superman fan until this movie, though it's always been a way that I think about the character of Clark and Superman is like, we will oftentimes talk about like when there's live action portrayals of Superman, especially, we'll say, oh, this actor was a really good Superman, but my favorite like Clark is this actor, or this one kind of nails both or whatever. But one thing this movie made me realize, and it's just like it's not an origin story, it's also a version where Lois knows who Clark is from the beginning, like that he's Superman. That allowed me to really realize there's kind of like three versions of Clark in my mind. There is Superman, for sure. Then there's like Clark at the Daily Planet, Clark with the glasses, kind of himself for sure, but a little more of like a bumbling character version of himself. But then there's also who he is with Lois and Ma and Pa Kent, like the people who know the fullness of him. And I hadn't really thought about that, and it made me like look back, because I really think David Cornswet did a really good job at all three. And I think Lois brought out such a distinct sort of third person, this person that is like not Daily Planet Clark, but like Clark, you know, fully seen for who he is also as Kal-El. He did so good at all three of those things, and I think it was really just more apparent to me because Lois was such a good balance to that version of him. Brought out, like, he's a little bit more feistier, a little bit more honest, right? Like, not hiding anything. And I just really appreciated their dynamic in the movie. I thought it was like romantic and realistic, and I think Lois drives Clark mad, and that was so obvious. Like, that's when their relationship works the best. In the comics, they have this chemistry where she is kind of someone who's really skeptical a lot and a little bit cynical and doesn't really listen to him about her safety. And he loves that about her. Like, he admires that about her. And you can see that dynamic really clearly in this film. And that's a testament, I think, to Mizelle, Rachel Brosnahan.
Mademoiselle.
Yeah, but I liked her a lot. Yeah, I wish there was more Daily Planet stuff at the beginning. That's my main critique. Is like, there's so much action in this film. I just wanted a little less minutes on pretty much every action scene, cut by like 1 minute, 2 minutes, nothing crazy, because some of them go on for like 10. So, and just add a few more Daily Planet scenes at the beginning with Clark, or a little bit more time in Smallville, just to have a few more grounding points. And then it would have been much closer to 5 stars. Whereas right now I'm at like 4.25 probably, which is still very good. It's one of my favorite Superman movies for sure.
That's what you
Not
rated
my favorite.
City of Tomorrow Volume 1.
No. James.
I was wrong. I can admit it.
But anyway, that's like probably my biggest thing is like, if I could change anything, it would be more, because somebody said it earlier about the casting, but like, the casting in this movie is great. I don't think there's a miscast. For me, there wasn't.
Where's
in
that?
This film.
Because that's great.
What did you
Oh my god!
Phenomenal AC at 237. Exactly. Not me. Actually, if you're giving out dual citizenship, Jewish Dragons, let me know. I would really appreciate it. I never said a bad thing about Margot Kidder. Yeah.
I feel like all the actors did a really great job of portraying the characters. A very well cast movie. You're right. I agree.
So I wanted more of those Daily Planet guys toward the beginning. Just a few more scenes, a few more time, a little more time.
To me, this was the most well disguised Clark. He did look completely different than Superman with with his hair and his glasses. I can see how. Well, also, I think the explanation has always been like, when he's Superman, he vibrates his head at a certain frequency and keeps people from being able to make out what he really looks like. But we didn't. They didn't put that explanation in there. But I thought Clark looked reasonably different than Superman. That you could actually pull that off. Oh, I live 1 mile from the Hall of Justice here in Cincinnati. So what's the Hall of Justice?
So the Hall of Justice in the animated show is based on, is it an old train depot, Chris? Originally, now it's a museum. It's in Cincinnati. It's like a children's museum inside and a couple of other things, but it's a very distinct building. Oh. And I think it was the animated series that first drew it like that. And so now a lot of depictions of the Hall of Justice are filmed. The exterior's filmed at this place in Cincinnati. So they use that in this movie.
They did use that in this movie.
Yeah.
But I think the Justice Gang.
Yes. But most of the exterior shots, I think, were Cleveland, if I remember correctly. But that's for sure Cincinnati. It's a very distinct building. Very cool building.
Yeah, Jimmy was a player. And I love that little touch of how you think she's kind of airheaded, the girlfriend, but she's really taking significant selfies that contain information. Well, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I can't remember. Lois comes up with something on her own, but she's the one that figures out the girlfriend had taken important pictures, selfies, right?
Yeah, she zooms in on the background. I
Yeah.
think what you're trying to say is
Is
Elle
that
Woods
Margot
walked
Margot
so that
Kidder
Eve
could never have done any of this.
could run. That's crazy that you came for Canadian National Treasure.
Sapar had a good point, but maybe the way they portrayed it highlights the innate goodness of Superman and his Earth parents' influence in spite of the original parents'
For sure.
message. Yeah, that's a good comment. Oh yeah, the hard light middle fingers. This guy was flipping the tanks was perfect. That's right.
Okay, here's the thing. Can I have a little soapbox for just a second?
Absolutely. I love your soapboxes.
I told Ash this. I felt like such a geriatric until I talked to Batmanda, and then she validated me. So I saw the movie first with Maddie, and when I went into the movie, my mom doesn't do anything. You're like, there's so many characters in this story already. It's true. My mom hates fictional things. She doesn't like cartoons. She doesn't like superheroics. But weirdly, she loved the Wonder Woman movie. My sister took her to it. It was a big shock to all of us. She hated 84, but who didn't?
Who didn't?
But my mom had watched the Christopher Reeve biopic on a flight, and so it made her be thinking about Superman more. She saw the movie because it was such a phenomenon, of course, when she was a kid. And she's like, oh, I kind of want to see the new Superman movie, which again was like, it floored me. So when I was watching the movie, I am thinking, would my mom like this? And I am also thinking, as someone who used to be the program director at a Boys and Girls Club, K through 12, which means one of my jobs is on rainy days. I used to have to pick movies that were like clean movies that the parents would all be okay with for the kids to watch. And sometimes challenge because you'd think a movie was clean, but they curse it. And some parents are okay with that.
You dropped out.
Did I freeze?
Yeah. Right after picking out a movie for a rainy day.
Oh, yeah. I used to pick out movies for the kids, and sometimes you think this is clean, it's rated PG, but they curse a lot. And some parents are okay with that and some aren't. But the truth is, a kindergartner, when they hear that word, even if you tell them don't say it, and maybe especially if you do, they're going to do it, right? So, like, I'm just so conscientious of, like, this audience. So I go to the movie. When the movie ended, Maddie and I are talking through it, and one of my critiques, other than what I just shared about wanting more Daily Planet scenes, was like, there's actually a lot of cursing in this movie. And the middle finger I would put in the same category of like, what age would I feel confident bringing a kid to this movie? And my mom's totally out. Like, she's not going to like how much cursing it was. Maddie's laughing at me. She's like, nobody thinks like this. And then Batmanda asked me, do you want to go see it again? She had seen it. And I said, yeah. And she's like, well, what did you think the first time? So we talked a little bit. I told her about the cursing thing. She said, my dad said the same thing. So shout out Noir Wolf. We're on the same page. I just was worried, like, yeah, I just think like I want this character to be as accessible as possible. And I just thought like some of the cursing was just not necessary. And like it's funny to me as an adult, but like I want more 8-year-olds to go, and lots of parents are going to be okay with their 8-year-olds seeing it, but a lot of parents are not. So it's like a minor complaint. I just wish it was a little more accessible, because most of the violence isn't like blood and super graphic. It's like kind of cartoony almost, and so that's fine, but the language was a lot, and I would put the middle finger in that bucket. So everyone watching is like, what a prude. But it's true. I just think in these terms sometimes, for like wanting the audience to be as wide as possible.
Guy explained it with Clark having hypno glasses. Okay, that's what it was. Thank you, Phenomenal. I get it now. My favorite for all three, Clark, Kal-El, and Soups is still Christopher Reeve.
I think Christopher Reeve does the best job of disguised as Clark. That's my...
Really?
For sure, yeah. That transformation scene when he goes to pick her up for that interview / date, where he's like, he sinks to be Clark and then he goes back to being Superman. You know what I'm talking about? In the apartment? Yeah. You're like, you saw it 10 times.
Wait.
Or did you block that scene out because Margot Kidder's in it?
It could be. Yeah.
Anyways.
Now somebody's going to show up in the chat named Jess Hates a National Treasure.
Canadian national treasure. Our countries are already like kind of having some friction lately, and you're just
Right.
really adding to it. No, I agree. I think to me that seems like two different people, like entirely. But that's just me. I'm a Christopher Reeve girly, so
I don't blame you. Elemis, I really enjoyed it. As someone who wanted Henry Cavill to get one more run, yeah, I did too. One of the best comic movies in a long time. I really liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I didn't. The Justice League movie makes more sense as the Snyder cut. I've got the Snyder cut, and it's a hell of a lot better than what got released. Everything makes more sense, and everything's more deeply fleshed out. You get a whole background on each character, and yeah, it's 4 hours, but that's fine for home viewing. But I thought Henry Cavill deserved better. I liked Man of Steel, but I feel like he deserved what James Gunn created. That would have put him in better light. I think people would have liked him better. I know people kind of were definitely split on Man of Steel.
Well, you know me. I like Man of Steel, and I liked Batman v Superman. Come at me. I didn't like Justice League though.
What, have you seen the Snyder cut?
Yeah, I mean,
really?
I
You
think
still didn't like it?
No.
Like
Okay.
the original was too little, but the Snyder was like
Not
way
enough.
too much.
Oh,
Like,
I thought it was not enough.
Snyder cut wasn't enough for you?
Because I thought, here's what I think.
4
I can tell you.
hours?
No, it's not the amount of time, Ash. It's not the amount of time. I remember my thought exactly. I watched it on streaming with Maddie. Like we watched from home, each of us. We were chatting in the box. And I thought if this may as well have been a mini series, like a 6-episode mini series. Because then what happened what happened in the Snyder cut was they introduced things that they can't follow up on. They didn't follow up on. There wasn't enough time, maybe because it was meant for something in the future. But some of it was interesting. Like, shout out, I think Martian Manhunter. I remember when he popped up, I was like, oh, Martian Manhunter's
Yeah.
But then it's like, you're just going to give me him for 2 seconds. So it was like, it was a frustrating viewing experience, but I would take it over the movie for sure. But I was like, this would have been a good 6-episode miniseries on HBO Max. That was my main thought afterwards.
CNSS, cursing is fun.
Sure.
Phenomenal AC. I agree the cursing wasn't necessary, but the middle fingers fit Guy's personality perfect.
100%. 100%. I agree.
The kids hear and see the worst at school and at home.
I know, but here's the thing. When you're the person who picked the movie, you're the one who gets the blame. Like for if they're doing that like to their teacher or something like that. So
I learned a new thing, teacher.
Exactly. I take like if I had an 8-year-old, I would take them to see this movie. But if my friend had an 8-year-old, I would say, here's all the language in the movie. You okay with this? And then take the 8-year-old if they were okay with it. That's how I would think about it.
Yeah. Well, hello. Gonna watch Superman in a few minutes. Nice. Have you seen it before, or are you seeing it again? I agree, Jess. Snyder cut was way better than the theatrical version. They should do a multiversity or DC Crisis movie. I like that idea, and bring Henry Cavill back. Wasn't Snyder Justice League meant to be a 2-parter? Might be why it feels you need more.
Probably, yeah. I mean, there was supposed to be a continuation of the stories that were in there in different movies too. So, like, that's for sure correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember cursing because I saw it a month ago, and I need to see it again to refresh my memory.
Here's the thing. Look for the cursing. Pretend you have a 7-year-old you don't want to hear cursing. I'm being so serious, and you will hear it. It's like, it's pretty frequent. I'm just saying.
Do you think Cavill could have pulled off the Superman if he wasn't recast?
No, not for me.
He isn't a professional actor. I mean, don't you think he could have acted like Kindness is the New Punk Rock?
No, I think he's the wrong cast for the way this character was portrayed. And I like Henry Cavill. Remember, I just talked about how I like even Batman v Superman.
Right. I'm glad the worst Lex Luthor ever was never to be seen again, I hope. Jesse Eisenberg.
Don't come for me and my Jesse Eisenberg Lex
Oh
Luthor.
my God, I'm so coming after you.
I think it was a fun take. Because, hey, hot take, nerdy, kind of awkward scientist dude being an evil villain. Very realistic, turns out. Very realistic.
I feel like we've talked
ahead
about
of the
Jesse
curve,
Eisenberg
I would say.
before. Haven't we, you and I, talked about Jesse Eisenberg before? I'm sure I said something.
I'm not even. It's not an I. I'm not defending him as a. I don't know anything about him. He seems nice. Actually, the one thing I think I remember about him is his wife is from the Midwest, and he like randomly lives in. I was like Iowa. I don't know, Indiana. I don't know. He lives in some random state like most of the year. That's all I remember about him as a person. But he portrayed Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, right.
And so that's what people had in their mind. And I thought it was an interesting take on the Lex character. And now that I'm living in Elon Musk's world, I'm like, that was a correct villainous type character. You know what I mean? Like, it was ahead of the game in trying to portray something different. That's how I feel about it. But I understand it was a bold take. It was a big swing, and it didn't work for you. And that's okay.
Okay, here's Safar's agreeing with you about portraying the vulnerability. That's cool. Not a younger Superman, of course, but the lightness. That's how I handled it to Earth-1, Jess. My nephew is 9. I ran everything by my brother before I allowed my nephew to see it.
For sure.
Agree with Earth-1, Jess, with regards to nerdy villains.
Okay. Ahead of the game. Ahead of the game.
Well, I can't. I'm trying to think of what else we can say about the movie. I loved that I don't mind that the music was redone in like a guitar format. John Williams' score for Superman 78. I thought that was a cool homage. So I don't know. Is there anything else we could say about this? I loved it so much. Yeah, it's a top 5. In my top 5.
It's in my top 10 for the year.
It's in my top 5 lifetime for me.
Holy shit. Okay. Sorry if there were 7-year-olds in the room.
Hey, are there 7-year-olds? Your 7-year-old nephew?
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, Superman's always been my all-time favorite character since I was a little kid, and this was the perfect Superman movie for me. So I'll have to think of what. Oh yeah, the punk rocker song. I have that open in an open tab somewhere. What were they called? The Puddles of Joy or something?
No, that was so funny. What was that band called?
I can't remember. Also, James Gunn. Peacemaker had wonderful soundtracks. Yeah, they have James Gunn music. The punk rocker song. Yeah, it was like the something Joys. Lois doesn't like breakfast for dinner. Huge turnoff. I agree with that.
Joys. The Mighty Crab Joys.
The ratty, mighty. Okay,
the Mighty Crab Joys. Right. That was so cute. That was the cutest scene when he was like, "I'm punk rock," and then he names that band, and she's like, "No." That was adorable. And when she smiles when she saw that poster on his wall, I was blushing. That was so cute. It was too much for me. That was so earnest. I love that. Did you guys? I have a theory I want to run by you real quick. The twin of Superman falls into like a vortex black hole thing.
Right.
Is he coming back as Bizarro or what?
Oh, that's interesting.
Did that cross your mind at all? Or what did you think when you were like, he's a twin? Did you ever think like it could be something else? Or because I just kept thinking, like, why is, I know he was the twin or clone, sorry, I don't want to say him twin, clone, so he could get into the Fortress of Solitude, like genetically. I understand that. But then I was like, that's a big plot. Like, we could have just had the hair as an example, work maybe on its own in the movie. So why go ahead and clone him and have him be this kind of, have these like big scenes with Superman that aren't just a battle scene, because they're kind of like seeing something in one another. Like, there was a lot going on in that sequence.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if he might come back as Bizarro or something like that.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I don't know that it crossed my mind like when I watched the movie, but definitely
this is a great song, Punk Rockers Teddy Bears. Yeah, featuring Iggy Pop. I love that song. I'm with Omnidog on this take. I have a Superman tattoo to remind me to hope in everything, and I felt like this was the hopeful and optimistic Superman I've been waiting for. Find hope in everything. Oh, okay. That's awesome.
The themes of hope and kindness, and I think this was the perfect Superman movie for 2025. And I think it's the best live action Superman movie. I do agree with both of those things for sure.
Also, the very end scene with Supergirl, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
It's all drunked up and everything. So, and Clark explains it to the robots.
Those robots were very funny. That was cute.
Well, I liked how Krypto was with Supergirl versus how Krypto was with Superman. I thought that was funny.
And she was like loving it. She's like, yeah, that works for me.
She likes the chaos.
That was cute.
Yeah, I'd like to get this soundtrack. It was really nice. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
that's the next movie getting made.
I'm just going to really struggle. I did tell one friend who's like, oh, I want to watch, like, because I said there's going to be a Supergirl movie. It'll be that Supergirl. This is someone who doesn't read comics. And she was like, the one who was like, I liked it, but I was confused. But I love that Supergirl. And I was like, oh, you'll be so excited. There's this movie. But I know how she feels about dogs. So I went ahead and spoiled some of that book because I thought I can't take her to this movie and have her not know Krypto's full storyline.
Okay.
In that
so
series.
You explain what completely happens.
Because I knew years from now, I think it's actually next summer because I think it's 2026, but a year from now, we're going to go and she's going to feel anxious and betrayed throughout the course of the film if I do not spoil part of his full storyline. So I did. I just went ahead because that will destroy her emotionally.
Yeah, I get it because it did me in the book. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Even Tom King can't be doing this. That's not acceptable.
Not subtle Tom King shade. National treasure Tom King.
National treasure Tom King?
He's an American national treasure. He even lives in the capital. So
he lives not far from me. I could tell by the Vision book. Because he was
you just had that.
Yeah, it's right here I showed last night this crappy Ultimatum book that's right here too. I didn't it's filed alphabetically with Ultimate X-Men, then Ultimatum and everything, and V for Vision here. But he lists off a bunch of places with different names, but I recognized them all in this. So he was describing his own neighborhood, really, basically.
That's cool.
The fact that he took the time to even save a squirrel hit me in the feels. Yeah, buddy.
All the scenes with the kids were really cute too. He was so good with the kids. Oh, and the moment where I was like, oh my God, Lex, that I can't even believe they showed this, that I would be nervous about my 7-year-old watching, because it was really intense, was when they shot that food stand man.
Oh yeah.
My God.
I jumped in my seat.
I'm still traumatized when I think about that sweet man and just how like cruel, callous, and that one was like you don't see anything again. So it's like more safe, I guess. But that kind of gun violence, like directly to the head, the way it was filmed was really subtly suddenly very real in kind of a more campy, like, oh, look at everyone in their prison cube. It was like, oh God, like, no, he really means business. But that was that interaction with him and Superman at the beginning, and that whole plot line was really moving too. I really liked that as well.
Yeah, that made me jump in my seat. So yeah, Supergirl Women for Tomorrow is next summer.
I think it's 2026. Let me look.
I think that is next summer. So I feel like he said that it's already done.
I mean,
but
yeah,
they need to edit it and stuff still.
it says 2026. Yeah, I mean, they for sure, if it's coming out next summer with the amount of CGI, especially that book, I can't even imagine what the sets for that and the CGI are going to look like for that. They've got to be done filming, because they've got to have at least a year, if not more, working on the like post-op stuff, like getting the film ready.
That's a good point. And you could actually, I can see now because she showed up in her Supergirl costume, and I can see now how they introduced the concept right there of how she does feel overshadowed by her more famous cousin, I think. And that's why she goes off to get smashed.
I did love that she called Superman a bitch. I thought that was high-key hilarious. That was one curse I was like, that was worth it.
Super. To finish. Okay, filming in May. Thank you. That scene perfectly showed who Lex Luthor is as a person. He's a very by any means necessary kind of villain. We do know Lobo will be in it. Okay. We probably should talk a little bit more about Metamorpho, because that was a surprise to me that he was in the movie too. And I think that was one of the strengths of the movie, is that it was an already established world with already established metahumans.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that part. And I forgot that Superman's juggling Metamorpho's kid and all throughout the underworld there with the lava of protons right underneath him, and he's trying to save everybody, and he's got Metamorpho's kid in his arms. Yeah, I thought Metamorpho was done really well. I'm guessing, I don't know, is that makeup or was that CGI for Metamorpho?
I think probably both, actually.
Yeah, okay. It was definitely probably prosthetics on it, but probably both.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that was a concern, like in trailers and stuff before the movie came out, is there was going to be like so many accessory characters that people weren't going to know. How did you guys feel about that? Do you think it was like too many characters to be introduced, or was it kind of cool just to have these characters were just in this world of comic book characters?
I felt fine with how many were already there. It helped me. I mean, James Gunn did a really smart thing where he introduced, with writing at the beginning of the film, that this takes place so many years after the first metahuman showed up on Earth. And Metamorpho's introduction seemed really organic to me. And I liked that the Justice Gang was like sponsored by somebody, and they never left the Justice League Hall or whatever unless their sponsor told them to. And I thought that was, hot girls just sitting around with their feet up, and I don't know what Mr. Terrific's doing, but yeah, they just hang out. So what did you think about the number of metahumans, Jessica?
I was fine. I liked it, and I had fun with it. But that's the thing where my two friends, that they were just like, "Is that person important? Tell me more about." Which is not bad, because like when I read comics, there are characters that pop up that I'm like, "Oh, that they were interesting," and then they go away, and then I Google them, and I'm like, "What else are they in?" And I read more, But that's a certain type of brain, I guess, or like a certain
Mhm.
type of thinking and attitude I've developed as a comic book reader, truly. For them, they were a little confused just about how the fact that they had to keep asking themselves, do I have to remember who this is? Should I know this piece? I think
Mm,
muddled it a bit for them. But
okay.
I will say, like, later when we're talking, they're like, oh, that guy with the T on his face, he was great. I really loved him. Or nobody said anything about Metamorpho, which is wild because he's definitely the craziest design of a character if you did not know him. And when
Yeah.
he's like a weird starfish and Mr. Terrific's trying to describe, he's like, it's Clark, it's a baby, it's some like weird guy. It's like that's how I would describe him too. But yeah, I don't know. On the one hand, I'm like, for those people, was it worth it to add? Could they have cut back a few? Would it have made a big difference? I don't know. But then I think about like some of the Marvel movies, particularly Guardians, because it's like a group cast. Like none of those were introduced to people ahead of time, and everybody really loved them. I think the fundamental difference is you see them throughout all 5 or 6 or however many there are, I can't remember, throughout the whole course of the movie, right? Whereas here there's a lot of people like popping in and out. So I don't know, like I loved it, but I'm always thinking about what other people are
Mm.
thinking, and I know from those two they were like, I just don't know if they were important or not. So I got confused sometimes. But overall, they both like had an okay time or enjoyed it. So I don't know. What do you think, Ash? How did it work?
I think it worked for me, but I think part of that's because I know who these
Hmm.
characters are, and I think it was cool to just land in this comic world or
Hmm.
metahuman world.
Very.
I think very much we get comic movies that are just about that one character and just their world, and I think here we see that you have this character, but there's also all these other things going on and
Hmm.
around. So it definitely worked for me, but I think, and I would hope that it, like you mentioned, would
Hmm.
garner interest of
Hmm.
like, who's this? And people would go and try and figure it out if they know that they could, or we'll potentially see them in other movies or things like that.
Yeah. This is making me think the other thing we didn't really talk about. This is a good question you asked. Is there's a huge theme in this movie that I think is really important, but they could have drawn out a bit more, which is the distinction that Lex draws when he's pitching the capturing of Superman to some of the military people. It's like we
Oh,
are
yeah.
in a world where everyone's metahuman, and Lex makes a distinction because they're like, there's tons of metahumans. What do you want us to do? Lock them up? They're citizens of XYZ. He's like, yeah, but they're humans. Like they have rights because they're humans, whereas Superman is an alien, like totally alien. And I think that was so important because it's a huge part of Lex's motivation when he's talking about humanity later on and what Superman is doing, because there are superpowered beings, but he's drawing this difference. And it definitely stands out, especially if you're familiar with a lot of Superman stories. But I think they could have done a little bit more, gone in a little bit more on that throughout the course of the film to draw a distinction. And the various metahumans we see help build that framework for us to see where Lex is making this distinction. Whether I'm sure we don't agree with him, but I think it's an important part of the world because that point is important. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I know what you're saying. Um, yeah, it's interesting. My movie buddy, I think she thought it was. I think she's. I don't know how much she enjoyed it. Uh, she said, "Yeah, I liked it." So I was like, that doesn't sound like you loved it like I did." But I've seen all the Marvel movies with her, and
yeah.
I I don't know how much she got out of those with, like Endgame with every character ever Marvel has created in that movie, taking on Thanos. I I don't know if she followed all that, but I certainly enjoyed it. But
Hmm.
Ash brings up a good point. We know these characters, like in
Yeah.
Superman, we know all those characters. Um, Whereas Joe Bag of Donuts out there may not know any of these characters. So yeah, that's a good point. I was Wonderfully surprised and impressed with how they did Metamorpho. I agree.
It looked really good. That was remarkable, actually. Live action
Yeah.
take.
Safar, thank you for the super chat. Totally unrelated. I asked AI Perplexity to suggest me comics based on my reading choices. Not only did it suggest Hawkman Omnibus, but also mapped reading order of issues in the omnibus. Uncanny. That actually is pretty cool.
And it mapped them differently than how they are in the omnibus?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because that's kind of interesting. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is Jeff Johns Hawkman?
I think that's the only Hawkman that has an omnibus. I sold my Omni because I couldn't open it, and I just got the 2 complete collections.
Is that because the
binding is terrible? Yeah, it's like the Flash by Jeff Johns. It just you can't it doesn't open to like more than that, and
it's getting reprinted though.
Well, I know they'll do a better job now on it.
Hopefully. I want Hawkworld and Ostrander's Hawkman to come.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Is it Truman?
Tim Truman?
Yeah, his Hawkworld and then went into Ostrander's Hawkman. That was good run for me. I really enjoyed that.
What era is that? Like what years roughly?
Late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, okay. That's my sweet spot. Okay, I'll keep this in mind.
Oh, typo, Hawkeye, not Hawkman. Okay, well then we were asking the wrong questions, but we found out about Truman and Ostrander's Hawkman, so that's good.
Worth the detour.
Yeah.
My question still stands though. Did the AI map it differently than the omnibus?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh,
do I have an echo?
Yes, it was Hawkeye, typo, but did the AI suggest a different order for the okay? Yes, it mapped differently. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Johnny's here in the chat. I wanted to ask him something. Wait, where were you? Johnny from Finland, regarding the 2026 film, in at least one interview, James Gunn said it's in the can. If it just got done shooting in May, or maybe it just got done
filming.
There's
got to be. Think about the sets. Think about the backgrounds of those panels in that in Woman of Tomorrow. Like if it's anything like that, you've got like tons of CGI ahead of you. So much work on the computer.
Yeah, long post-production.
Johnny, the posters came today. Thank you. Let's see. AI has read every comic book. I talked to Chat GPT about all my favorite books. Did Clark write that final article about the real hero of Metropolis? Does someone know? Okay, I'm forgetting this part.
Me too. And I saw it twice.
Who ended up being the real hero of Metropolis?
Oh, the hot dog stand guy. Ali was his name. Ali, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
I'd have to go back and look, or buy it for $29.99. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna wait for the Blu-ray. I'm a physical media gal.
Yeah,
you can rip it from my cold dead hands.
Metamorpho took 6 hours in makeup. Whoa.
It looked great, and I really need him to stay in the gang. Like I think that scene towards the end of that battle, when he was like, I like the name, after Guy Gardner just like lit into how weird looking he was like, he can stay, that's fine. And Hawkgirl's so bothered. She's like, no, this is crazy. How am I getting outvoted again? I just stood up for you.
Lance, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Love the Superman movie. I've seen it 5 times. Probably going to wait for the 4K now. Going to be driving in case I'm not commenting. Okay, well, good to see you. Thanks, Lance. Oh, that's right. Justice Gang was sponsored by Lord Tech, Maxwell Lord, played by Gunn's brother. Now that I know all these little Easter eggy things, I will
Rewatch it.
yeah. Oh, Gary the robot. That's right. Number 4, he ended up being called Gary when he rebuilt them. Yeah. Pity Ma. I think this movie was a win for the audience that are not comic book origin fans. For diehard comic fans, they did not love it, but I did enjoy it as an Elseworld Soups movie. I am we all 3 of us are diehard comic book fans. Are you?
How?
What are you saying?
Elseworld take, just because of the thing with his Kryptonian parents?
Yeah, it's a good question. Explain, Pity Ma. We want to know more of your thinking.
I'm curious.
Smallville Barbecue. Only 2 things I didn't like were Clark and Lois already dating, and that Krypto isn't Clark's dog. LOL.
Different strokes.
But Superman had possession of him and felt responsible for him, and even though he's kind of a bad dog to Superman, to Clark, he still loved him because he was worried about him. And that's another thing that we saw Superman stop getting angry. He was angry in the beginning because people were bashing him for stopping that war, and he got angry and busted into Lex Luthor's place saying, "Where's the dog?" and not in a nice way. He was furious. And then by the end of the movie, he had calmed down much more and was I don't know if he matured or learned to control his emotions, or maybe he accepted what his Kryptonian parents were really like. I don't know, but they did a good job of calming him down after he couldn't control his emotions. With Lois talking about she's interviewing him, talking about the war from, I can't even remember the country's names. And he was visibly angry in that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's true. He had definite moments of anger at the beginning, which was very humanizing for sure. I do think the scene when you were talking about how bothered he was like by the message and all of that, and he started getting angry then, and I think it threw him for a loop because he felt like he didn't know who he was, like, oh, am I a lie? Which is why I loved this line that Pa Kent says later on, which was the second scene that I cried at, which was like 2 minutes after where he wakes up in his bedroom. So it was a rough spot for me, lots of crying. But when he's talking to Pa Kent, he says, parents aren't for telling you who you are. And I thought that was like so accurate. His parents gave him like lots of tools and resources to go about life, but like parents aren't for defining who you are. You know, you define who you are. Your choices are who defines who you are, which is such a like recurring Superman message. But also I saw a lot of people like in all kinds of family situations on social media talk about how much that line meant to them, especially like people who don't have the best relationship with their like family of origin or birth parents. Like that really meant a lot, and they have other family, like maybe friends or found family, but I think your parent, you can feel like your origin does define you, and your family of origin does define you, especially if you had a more negative experience or some negative experiences. So like his dad telling him that, even as somebody who raised him and is part of that origin in a way, I thought was really powerful. So I'm glad that moment meant a lot, because I saw several people say something to that effect on social media. So I'm glad they felt seen by that scene. I liked it.
Good. Doug hasn't seen it yet. I'm only this coming week. I want to see it. I need
$24.99.
I need to see Fantastic Four too. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, yay about the posters. The original idea for 5 of the posters was that they were to be given away during this super special live show. Oh, heck. We're actually probably closer to the end than we are to have time for that, but I'll figure something out. The next Superman show, I can give them away. So I'll figure that out. Yeah, I did notice the Wade, but I don't think I saw Jurgens.
Same. I didn't see Jurgens either. I'll look for it.
I like that a lot. Lance saw it. Hey, are you driving, Lance? Don't be typing. What was the first thing everyone bought because of this movie? For me, what everyone bought. Oh, for me, it was the Complete Terrifics paperback that just came out. I really liked Mr. Terrific.
He was really good.
I think I showed you this already. I don't know. Did I show you the popcorn bucket I got?
You showed me.
Oh, I didn't show Ash?
I don't think so.
Because I think you showed me when I texted you that picture of my dog and the popcorn bucket.
Yeah. I got this popcorn bucket, Ash. It's like a Daily Planet
that's
newspaper
cool.
box. And you can flip it.
Is it actually open in the front?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
But you can flip it so that it says this on the Daily Planet too. But I'm repping my boy Krypto.
As you should.
Thank you. And then
we all know you're not loyal to your comic book women, that's for sure. You just change them like underwear, but you're loyal to that dog, and that's really what matters.
Is this about Margot Kidder again, the Canadian national?
No, it's about Encantadora, or whatever her name is.
Oh, Encantadora, right. I forgot. And then I liked Moth Woman, Cyber Moth Woman, Luna. And then Kelly's friend sent me this. Wait, no, Matt H sent me this that we just saw, and they couldn't watch the show. But Matt H sent me this, and then I sent a picture of this to Kelly's friend, who's seen it like 15 times up in Boston. And she said, "Don't open the box. Krypto will wreck your place." So I was like,
That's
okay,
cute.
I'll leave them in the box.
15 times in Boston is like a commitment, because it's like $20 to see a movie there. So shout out.
She saw it. Oh, this girl. I marvel at this girl, Margaret. She's Kelly's best friend, and she spent holidays and stuff here before with us. Her parents live up in New York, I think. New Jersey? Maybe it's New Jersey. Miss Mizell. So where was I going with this? Oh, she is Adam Driver's biggest fan on the planet. She slept overnight on the street of New York City to get to see Adam Driver on Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
And then while she was interning in a New York law firm, she had a place in Greenwich Village this summer, and Adam Driver was like 2 blocks away in this theater production. She saw that 20 times and was at the back door often enough that security said, "Margaret, have I forgotten anything that I just said that I'm supposed to say?" She's like, "Yeah, there was that one part about no pictures." And he's like, "Oh yeah, thank you, Margaret." And so she saw that 15 or 20 times. It may be over 20 times that she saw that in the Adam Driver in the movie, in the Broadway show. And in Boston, she saw it not on just IMAX, but it was like the Smithsonian IMAX. That's just like bigger and rounded. She saw that at the Boston Museum of something, Science, Museum of Science, something.
That's where I saw my first IMAX ever, actually.
At the Boston Museum?
Yeah, in the first IMAX one. It's like at the Children's Museum, I think, or the Science Museum of Science or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Because it was the first one built I was living in Lowell, Massachusetts at the time. It was the first one built in that region. But the first movie I saw in IMAX, like full-length movie, was in this weird place in Nashua, New Hampshire. But it was Superman. It was like the what's his name? Brandon Routh one.
Oh, okay.
I really wanted to go. My mom took me, and my best friend Caitlin was my first IMAX. Very cool.
Very nice. And so
Mid-movie.
you
Kate
can.
Bosworth looked great.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
But I liked Brandon Routh. But
No, he was good.
what was I just thinking of? Oh, okay. So did anybody buy anything because of this movie? There were so many awesome Easter eggs in this movie. Yeah. David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan's chemistry was off the charts. I loved Lois already knowing Clark as Superman. Both are some of the best casting ever in a comic book film. Yeah. Did I send you, or did I send it to Margaret? There was 2 outtake reels that I saw.
You sent me some press interview clips. I don't remember any outtake ones, like from filming. You mean?
Yeah. Was it the one where it's Jimmy and Lois sitting there with Clark, and they said, and then the camera was on them.
Oh yeah, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I did send that to you. I have Ash's email now. I'll send those to you too, Ash.
Yeah, I'd like to see those.
They were funny. They were legit funny. They're little outtakes, or not outtakes. They were special things done for like publicity, I think.
They made like TikToks while they were filming, basically.
Yeah,
and released them once
something like that. Yeah, because they were really funny, which I really appreciated. I bought that too, Brian 12ish. I also got DK Ultimate Guide to Superman book. Donkey Kong? What's DK? Ultimate Guide. DC. Oh, you meant to put DC? I don't know.
Donkey Kong, Miss Frizzle. Everyone's getting a spin-off these days.
According to Gunn, Clark Superman becomes more emotionally mature as a result of his one-on-one with his Pa Kent when he comes back home to rest up a bit. Thank you, Johnny. That's good to know. And I really want a wacky serialized Jimmy Olsen TV show. Some of my favorite DC books are in the Silver Age. Oh, yeah. Oh, that wacky. Yeah. Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. Have you read the Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction book, Brian? And have you guys read that? You two, Ash and Jessica?
I have not, but I'm going to pick up the deluxe edition that's coming out.
It's well worth it. It's very funny. Yeah. Extremely funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that actor, I don't think I'd seen him in anything else, could play the tone of that book well. Like the actor in the Superman movie who played Jimmy, could play the tone of that Fraction book well.
No, Lance was parked. Okay, good.
Good.
I love and have that popcorn bucket. Nice, Pity Ma. I hope she was doing that when she was young. At this point, she was in her 20s because it was a few years ago. I can't imagine being out in the streets of NYC in line anymore. Younger than me, certainly. I mean, I remember waiting 8 hours in the gutters of the streets of Oakland to see the Rolling Stones, but yeah, I was like 19 years old. I don't even know if I'd go to a Stones show now. I'd complain that it's too loud, probably. Another reason I love small town life, it's only $4 a ticket to watch a movie at my local theater.
Whoa.
$4, that is amazing. Yeah, wow, small town life. Still parked, LOL. I love that Superman was allowed to be a bit immature and flawed in his argument with Lois, even if he was right. It resonated with me, especially since I'm David's age.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I'm a Libra, so I'm like the scales and the astrology, so I'm constantly trying to see like both sides of things. But I do think another thing I kept thinking about is while Lois was right to bring up all those questions, at the end of the day, especially when it's so many lives at stake, like I do go to my base instinct, which is like there is a right or wrong. Sometimes it's clear there's some kind of right and wrong. And so his moment of like millennial indignation really spoke to me. I was like, yes, I could see where both of them are coming from because that's my nature. And I actually can be more of a Lois, I think, just in trying to think things through every angle. But I think that can be exhausting. And I think at a point we do lose sight of the fact that there are some things that are like a little bit more obviously like this is right, this is wrong. How you approach it might be different, but like it's worth having the conversation around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought they had a really good back and forth about that. And I could see both their sides, but lately I've been leaning more into my Clark. Like, there's right and there's wrong. Like, people were going to die. So at the end of the day, like, I'm going to do this. And I was like, yes, I agree.
I agree with what you're saying. That's that SNL sketch. Oh yeah, Adam Driver's undercover boss is Kylo Ren. That was hilarious. I still like watching it. Well, I didn't buy anything after seeing the film, but I did listen to the punk rocker song quite a bit. Yeah, the one with Iggy Pop. Oh, I did buy a couple of things for Earth-1 Jess and Earth-2 Jess. Should I show them to her, or should she be surprised?
I'll let Johnny decide. Thank you, Johnny.
DK Publishers. Oh, okay.
Oh.
DK equals Dorling Kinslerly. What was he? Let's see what he was remarking about now.
Oh.
Where? How far back was this? No, so far it was not that far back.
It's a mini encyclopedia.
Oh.
They have one on Batman too.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
Make all kind of mini encyclopedias and stuff. They have one on Batman too. Okay. I hope they give the Lois Lane mini by Rucka. Yeah, I agree with that. That book is fun. The deluxe edition as well came out around the same time as the Fraction Jimmy book. I agree with that. Rucka, of course, is one of the greatest writers, and that book is really cool.
That had really good alternative covers, that run.
The Lois Lane one?
Mm-hmm.
They released the Superman book to coincide with the movie. I thought the Jimmy subplot was going to be that he was the victim of a botched magical attack.
Yeah, same. I thought he was like bewitched or something. I'm like, why are they all? Is it just a gag, or are we gonna find something out later? Like,
wait, the book or the movie we just saw?
The movie.
Oh, I was thinking the movie. I was taking Chris. Did you mean the movie? You were taking it as a movie, Ash.
Yeah. Wait, a botched magical attack. Wait,
because every girl in Metropolis was, except for Lois, was like fawning over him, like every single one. And like, yeah, I guess he was like a little cutie, but it's like not everyone would be attracted to you. Like that was wild. And they were like maddeningly in love. Also, you remember when we were? I don't know what we read, but do you remember when we were reading a book where Jimmy's mom tried to crash his date? I forget what run that was.
That I think that was the book before City of Tomorrow.
What were we reading? Because when he's talking to Eve and she's like, your mom loves me. I was thinking about that storyline that we read.
Was that Triangle?
No. It was Triangle.
Triangle.
It was Triangle. Okay. Yeah, it came to me. Yeah.
Okay.
That was so funny. I just thought about that.
I forgot that we did War World a year ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Triangle was before the year, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't that like 8 or 9 months ago? Because it was one of the books. It was one of the books I'll be talking about tonight with Taylor Talks Comics, because we're going to be talking about the goals we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year. And I think everybody knows how I'm doing on my goals.
I'm doing badly too, so
you'll see.
Or I just don't set goals.
That's smart.
Never fail if you don't have them to begin with.
So true. You can't miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
That's
Um,
fun. What time is that, Jess?
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Eastern
Eastern.
Standard Time. And I will, after this, I'll put up the thumbnail and create the show because James gave us made a picture, but upper management created the word balloons, and it's pretty funny. Upper management has shown she has a good sense of humor because she absolutely nailed it in this one. But James is really nice to make the video, make the thumbnail image. DK has a lot of great books. I have their books on Avengers, female superheroes, Batman, Catwoman, Ghost Rider, Marvel Chronicle, and others. What? Where do you get those? Now, wait a sec, Johnny. I only have one thing, or is she supposed to get a poster? I think maybe he sent extra posters. Let me go get those posters. They're right here. Well, I can show you the one thing that
Okay.
he sent.
Oh yes, very cool. I'm very excited. Thank
He
you,
sent
Johnny.
this from Finland.
I know, that's crazy. Can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. I love.
Okay.
What texture is that cape?
Plastic.
Plastic, like a rubber almost.
Extra icy.
Nice.
It
Yeah,
could be.
right,
Yeah.
that's
I
what
think
it
you're.
is.
Yeah, it does feel like it's rubber.
Very cool. Thank you, Johnny.
And he
You know what
sent
it
me-
reminds me of, though,
Who?
real quick, in a good way. It reminds me of when is it Old Spice? That men's cologne that's like some man's chest. Do you know what I'm talking about? The bottle is like a man's chest. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, the
Let me look it
bottle's
up.
shaped like a man's chest.
Yeah.
I-
Cologne. I'm worried about Googling this. Oh, it's Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is a deep cut.
Mrs.
Sorry.
Mizell?
I think my dad uses it, so I always saw it. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. Jean-Paul Gaultier. That's French, just like Ms. Mizell.
Miss Mizell.
Yes.
And he also sent me, and I haven't even seen the movie yet, but a Thing Fantastic
Oh,
Four.
that's
cup.
dope.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a fun texture.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. It has like the pants on the bottom.
That's cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pants on the bottom. Okay, let's see.
Why don't we have these things? We're such a failed country. We do better.
I feel like they were out there. We just didn't get them. We weren't there in time to get them.
Maybe.
Okay, here come the posters. I will, on the next show that we do for Superman Johnny, I will give these posters away. Okay, it looks like, okay, they are all the same. Okay, so I'm sending you one of these.
None of my cups have pants.
Huh?
Brian at 3:49. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
This one?
I'm slap happy now. Thank you for that.
The cool thing is they're in Finnish.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I love
We
that.
pronounce that Tasta Seanka.
I'm gonna not embarrass myself like that. That's really cool. Thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah, this is really cool here too.
I love that. Oh, that lady with the nanobot. What was her name?
The engineer.
The engineer. She was a cool character. That was a cool character design. I really liked that. We didn't talk about her, but
Yeah, she was.
a moment to say that was dope. I liked that. Very cool. Thank you, Johnny. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I have 5 to give away, so I'll do that on the next show. Whenever we decide what we're gonna be talking about.
Well, I didn't pick up any. Well, I did pick up that popcorn bucket, but the thing I did get that I haven't read yet, is well, the new Poison Ivy hardcover came out not too long ago, so I had to order that, which means I had to add to the order because you can't just order one book. And I got, it's like Superman the animated series, the comics, which I'd never read as they came out, but I love the animated series. And DC Infinite had them up back in the day, but they've been down. I don't know if it's like a licensure thing, but they've collected them all in a compendium, so I did get that. But just because I wanted more Superman that I hadn't read, like I had an itch, so that's what I got after that.
Wait, I'll be right back. I just dropped my pants cup. I picked it up.
Technically none of my cups will have pants either, because that was just really a torso and a chest. I don't think I have any cups with pants.
Okay. I need a Diet Coke. Also known to people these days as fridge cigarettes. That's what.
Who are people?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
People online. I introduced junior management to it, and she thought it was hilarious. Fridge cigarettes.
But she had not previously heard of it.
I don't think so. No.
But she has heard of Chad Michael Murray, and you
Yeah.
haven't. So
And she got-
who's more in the know? I'm gonna go with junior management.
I wouldn't even argue that. She got both his shows right too.
I know. Well, he's been in more than that. She didn't say Gilmore Girls, but I'll give her that. It's fine.
No, this is the problem, Elemis. I haven't. It's right over there in my reading chair, and I'm gonna have to start over now because I'm halfway through it. No way can I remember everything. It was probably a year ago that I started it because it was on my goals list this year.
Was this Rebirth or New 52?
Rebirth?
Yeah. Okay.
I've read New 52.
Yeah.
But it was part of my goals. I think James, I forget where James sent it, maybe on Facebook or in the chat in Discord, but he sent Taylor's goals and my goals. And I do remember that I wanted to finish like Gail Simone read Sonja, the Superman Triangle years that we didn't quite get to the end, Justice League Dark, and there were 5 Omnis that I was halfway through. Oh, Justice League International Volume 1, and then one other. There were 5 Omnis that I wanted to get through because I was halfway in all of them. So yeah, Elemis, that's good that you remember that. Woohoo! Poster giveaway. Yeah. Poly O string cheese are my fridge cigarettes. So delicious and addictive. They are good. They are a staple here in this house. LOL. I bought it because you told me what you read, so it was so good, and I finished it before you. I loved the first half, and I remember reading it in trades, back in 2017 or something. That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think, what's her name from the Great White North? True Graphic.
The Great White North?
She's from Canada. Yeah. You've never heard it called the Great White North?
I don't think you should be bringing Canada back up, is what I was going to say. I know what the Great White North is. I watch hockey. I'm cultured. I like Margot Kidder. I've eaten poutine. I'm friends with the Canadians. I have no beef with them at all.
While I have upset the entire nation now.
Yeah.
And the chat and you.
Obviously.
We're a bit backwards in Finland over here. None of our pants have cups. Here's my Discord. Thank you, James. Jess or Sue, run another random question. I will answer ice cream questions all the time. I can't have it right now because we're on a major league diet. And I'm not actually losing important weight that I need to lose. But my favorite ice cream ever is Ben & Jerry's vanilla caramel fudge. I love that. My favorite Haagen-Dazs is probably Dulce de Leche.
You're so international today.
I probably just upset all of Mexico too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm always happy to discuss ice cream. And I now have been paying attention to those sour grapes, Ash.
Mm-hmm. The fruit riot.
Yeah, they're in my Safeway now, and I keep thinking I should get these, but I really shouldn't get these. They are the sourest thing I've ever tasted, and I love sour stuff. I think they must pick grapes that are sour, and then they put sour candy over it. My salivary glands are shooting off right now in my mouth. Those things are so sour. They're really good.
They were.
Earth-2 heightened scrutiny. Okie doke. Anything else for from anybody? Oh, okay. Ice cream. New favorite for me is pistachio. The sweet and salty mix so well. Yes. Walnuts. Best is cheesecake ice cream with caramel and walnuts. Also, cheesecake comics with caramel and walnuts too. My wife has walnuts in the house because she's gonna make banana walnut something, and I can't eat walnuts. They're too bitter for me.
Most people don't eat them by themselves. They're usually in desserts to
or a nut mix, I guess.
That would, and they ruin any dessert for me. If I find walnuts in my chocolate chip cookies or brownies, I can't eat it because they really react in my mouth badly.
The salivary glands, they tuck right back in.
They're
like, no,
I can't even feel them anymore. Peace and love, Joey. Welcome. I'll email a photo later, but Earth-2 Jess, Aaron had Barks red colored cream soda the other day and really liked it. I know you don't care for the root beer. I don't think I have tried their cream soda.
Barks red cream soda is so rich. It is so rich.
Oh, well, that's good to know. It's probably really good. I don't like their root beer. Red cream soda. Okay, cool. Thank you, Johnny. Oh, yeah, I want to see that picture. His son's really sweet looking. You have to eat walnuts when they're fresh and you can remove the skin. Jess doesn't have to do anything like that. I just will not be eating walnuts. Peace and love. If they're fresh, if they're coated with candy and Sour Patch Kids, no. Best coffee ice cream, in my opinion, is Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream. Coffee Toffee Crunch.
Oh, that does sound good. What was the name of that ice cream, Ash? That was coffee that we talked about last time, and then you sent some, and it was berry coffee, and highly recommend for coffee.
Yeah, she sent me like a gallon of it.
That thing was huge. I still have some.
It's Ben and Jerry's. It's
Ben and Jerry's.
He's got like a line called Scoopapalooza, so they're larger than the regular little Ben and Jerry's, but it's coffee and fudge chip.
That's what it was. Yeah, that was good. That was heavy on the coffee, which I like.
Yeah, it was really good coffee ice cream. Mm-hmm. Okay, Elemis is with me, so that's good. We just our taste buds aren't geared to walnuts.
That's fair. That's fine.
And here's Matt. He just came back. I showed this earlier, Matt. You sent me this, I believe, right?
Let's hope so, because you got it wrong the first time. You'd be showing Matt. He's like, "What are you talking about?" It's a whole third person that gave it to you. You're not giving credit for.
What? Don't insult Matt.
Because when you first pulled it out, you're like, you thought Margaret got it for you. Then you're like, no, Matt got it for me. So it'd be hilarious if Matt was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, glad you liked it. Nature's Steve Gutenberg. Yeah, I like
hilarious.
walnuts about as much as I love Steve Gutenberg.
That's crazy. I didn't know people were hating on Steve Gutenberg like that.
I am.
See, in Short Circuit, it's that guy, right? The movie.
I don't think I saw that movie,
Oh,
and I don't think I will. Where I really, I think those Police Academy movies are not worth the film they were made on, and I think Steve Gutenberg is a terrible actor. There was this movie he did with Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, who were better actors than he was, and what was that woman's name in Cheers? And she was also.
Is this Bill? Was he in Billboard Dad? You talking about Billboard Dad?
It was called It Takes Two.
Oh, It Takes Two. Another classic.
What that woman from Cheers?
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, she just recently passed away. She was in it, and the Olsen twins were in it, and they were great. And Gutenberg was awful, and it's like a Parent Trap type movie where the twins meet at summer camp. Yeah, it was my first introduction into Life Isn't Fair, that he's a big star. My taste in ice cream is classic: chocolate, stracciatella, and raspberry. So what is stracciatella?
Something Italian, I would guess.
Yeah. So rich in a good way or too rich in a not so good way, Jess?
I'm sweet. I'm more salty, savory person. So for me, it's a little too sweet. But I think for most people, it'd be like in a good way.
Yeah, he was in 3 Men and a Baby. Yes. I hadn't even thought of Steve Gutenberg in 20 years until like 6 months ago when Jess unveiled that to him. The embodiment of talentless evil was Steve Gutenberg.
Jess has beef with truly the most random human beings.
I don't have beef with Margot Kidder.
You better not. She's dead.
And so's Gene Hackman. And those are the two people that I didn't really like.
It was just, yeah, but Gene Hackman's not a Canadian national treasure. Wow.
Right. Oh, it's vanilla ice cream with small pieces of dark chocolate in it.
Oh, stracciatella.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 3 hours, so I think it's probably time to wrap this up while we're all still in a good mood. Because I don't want Jessica to come after me anymore.
No, I knew I was past my prime when I lost my mind at Our Cups Don't Have Pants, and I just thought that was the funniest thing. That's when I knew I'm done. I'm out. I'm dead. I'm weak, as the youth say.
Well, he has a waist.
He does. He is just like whatever Jean-Paul Gaultier cologne. And I'm excited. So thank you, Johnny.
Jewish Dragons, you're right. I love Diner, and I've seen it so many times. I have it memorized. This was a movie back in like 1983. It was the second movie I saw Kevin Bacon in. The first one was Animal House. But Diner is great. You're right. So we will figure out what we're talking about next, Superman-wise. And we thank you for everybody being here. Thanks to my guests, Ash, and my co-host, Earth-1, Jess, who may or may not be speaking to me after this is all over. I'm not sure.
I'm standing with the Canadians.
That makes sense. That's on brand. So thank you so much for everybody being here. We had a lot of fun talking about Superman, the movie. That was great. And I will be on tonight at 8 p.m. and with Taylor Talks Comics, and I will use my theme song to play us out. Oh, whoops. No, I don't want to do that yet. Okay. Here we go. Bye.